I still think about you. Bum, bum. My glasses fogging up. How long does it take for the notification? Oh, it just went off. Never mind. All right, I was talking. Nah, that fucking bot, bro. Watch out. Why he always do that? Why that bot always do that shit? I gotta listen to some music while I chill. Oh nah, bro. I hate that. Why does it always do that? He always catches me in the act, bro. I can't even live. I can't even live without this fucking bot catching me in the act. Stop. Do Black Lives don't matter? Like Black Lives don't matter in 2022? Like let's talk about it. What's up, Noah? BLM. Let's talk about it. Okay, what are we doing today? Salty bets or the Jubilee? I'm still eating my food. I don't care. Jubilee? Okay, let me find some videos. I don't even know what Jubilee videos there are. I think we watched some during the cut times, but obviously, is this shit even playing? I don't care. Jubilee. I haven't watched. I haven't been on my PC in a minute, bro. Fuck being on video games. I haven't been on my
My name is
PC.
Kobe Thurman, and I'm about to get my
Whoa, 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 whoa! They come to count succulent. What's up, Hop? What's up, Hop? You haven't seen you in a while, bro. Hope you've been good. I see you on Twitter though all the time. Watch out. Eyes up.
Yeah.
Thank you, eyes up. 16 months? You on my fucking dick, bro. Stop. Thank you, bro. I appreciate it. I appreciate it a lot. 16 months is a long ass time. Thank you, bro. I appreciate it. Yeah, this man hot, bro. You've been MIA on Discord, but I see you on. Wait, what the fuck? Why is my hair so like? Why does my hair look like that? My hair going crazy, bro. I don't like this at all. I need to get a haircut. I think I might get a haircut. It's just too wavy. It's just way too wavy. I'm out the game. When November ends, I'm out the game. I don't care. When November ends, I'm out the game. I can't do it anymore. I can't. Like who do you think I am? I can't do it. Okay, I can't do full screen either, bro. I look fucking ugly as shit. Watch out. I'm not like that self conscious about myself, but I don't like seeing myself. So let me switch that real quick. Let me try one of these newer scenes. One sec.
It's looking like you should pay homage. My hand's crazy, and you don't want that big diamond 3 on my neck. Rubies, emeralds, and sapphires. Touch the gems, clap the PC.
Wait, is this fire or not? Is this one fire or not? Is this one fire or not? Nah, it's mid. Let's be real, it's mid. All right. Have a good shift at work, Hop. Screen too small? Is it? How about this? How about this one? Not gonna lie, bro. I don't even know what's in the bottom right there. I stole this shit off like fucking some random ass website. What's on the bottom? Top tip? Nigga, I'm blind. Top tip bits? I don't even sub and this shit's so money grab, bro. You got two sub things. You don't even have a follow. You got two sub things and a fucking and donations. This shit's so money grab. Where's the follows? Oh my god. Okay, I'm gonna watch some Jubilee. Let me get my headset on. Actually, I hate wearing a headset when I just do get out of the shower, but gotta do what you gotta do sometimes. Okay, let me see. I gotta change this to Oh, I'm playing music. Oh yeah. Yeah, what's a good Jubilee to watch though? I swear we watched these ones before. Isn't Jubilee the same shit as Cut? Is this really what we're doing? Like, isn't this the same shit? Okay, let me go popular. Let me see. Jubilee different? Okay, I see. I think I have something in my watch later, actually. Let me check. Oh, I'm on the wrong account. Liberals versus moderates versus conservatives? Watch out. I don't have shit, bro. I want a good one to watch. I actually want to watch a video for once. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to just react. I want to.
Your boy shit, I can't feel my back.
What's up, Chid? 17 months? This seems like cap. I never see you in my stream. 17? Niggas on dick, bro. Thank you, Chid. I appreciate it. Thank you so much, Chid. I want to watch a video and I actually am entertained by it. I like the cut videos, but people read the last text from their Oh, let's watch it. It's a bunch of people. Okay. You know what? We're gonna watch this one. We're gonna watch this one for now. 20 minutes. Men's rights versus feminism. Is toxic masculinity real? Ah. Okay, we'll watch it. Fuck it. If it makes you uncomfortable, that means you gotta watch it, right?
Hello everyone, welcome.
Middle ground is a social experiment.
Watch out.
Hello everyone, welcome.
Thank you for tuning in for Middle Ground, which is all about disagreeing and having a dialogue.
That's right. Make sure you stick around to the end because we want to discuss more about the ethos of Middle Ground.
I feel like my camera's too big. What the fuck?
You said that women are misguided. We are not misguided. We do not need.
Okay, wait, I gotta go back to my old screen. Sorry, I feel like this camera is way too big. Audio low? I got you. I got you. There we go. Oh wait, where's my camera? That shit gone, bro. There we go. Oh, this shit big. Hey, yo. There we go. Okay, I got you. I'm gonna turn up the volume.
How's it going?
How's this?
Hello.
Would you call yourself a feminist?
I would.
Yes, an intersectional feminist.
When you hear the word feminism, what comes to mind?
Marxism?
To me, feminism is fairness.
I think that it's unfortunately misguided.
Feminism is a flawed movement.
When you hear the phrase men's rights, what comes to mind?
Aggression.
Advocating for the human rights of man as a class.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate it.
Laughing.
What do you hope to get from the conversation today?
I would hope to get some insight and probably, if anything, agree on a lot more than disagreeing.
I actually hope to get a little bit more understanding of why some men think this
There we
way.
go. Perfect. Fuck it, I'm leaving it like this.
There's middle ground between men's rights activists and feminism.
We'll see.
Hi, my name is Zach, and I am 24 years old.
This is Chris. I'm a PhD student at the University of Southern California, and I'm also a Title IX specialist who challenges discrimination against men on college campuses. And I'm 30 years old.
Hi, I'm Derek. I also go by Brendio. I'm a YouTuber, and I'm also known as an incel, which is an involuntarily celibate.
Oh, watch out. Oh, no, watch out.
My name is Alicia. I am
What
a
the hell?
writer, poet, and teaching artist.
Hi, I currently work in the pet health industry, and I'm 30.
I'm 24. I'm a graduate student with a degree in health sciences, and I'm excited to be here today.
Can I get my men's rights activists in the left and my feminists on the right?
Yo, they got Nick in here too. This is gonna be a good episode.
Step forward if this statement is true for you. I believe men and women are different but equal.
Yeah, obviously. The men? Why didn't the men move?
I know as a woman that I don't have the same physical strengths. Men and women are built differently. I think whenever things are built differently, it's for a reason, right? But at the same time, the amount of limits that have been put on women historically, like the fact that not too long ago we were just allowed to start voting. Even today, like the wage gap, just all types of stuff. Like women just don't have a lot of rights that are just, it should have nothing to do with what gender we are to be able to be paid equally or just be treated with respect. So, yeah.
I do believe that, of course, there are biological differences between men and women. And of course, there should also be legal equality. Of course, I disagree with the idea that women face systemic discrimination. You just mentioned the wage gap, which has been debunked so many times.
I've studied evolutionary biology quite a bit. And men and women are very different from not just a physical, the bone structure, the neurological department as well as the chemical balances. And also, I don't believe that men and women are equal under the law either, or they should be rather. Children are not equal under the law. And it's not because we hate children, it's because we love them and we want to protect them.
So if you believe we're not equal, then
But what is he
you're
even trying to say
inferring
about that?
one would be
What is he saying about the law
greater
part?
than the other.
Well, so let me
So that's what
chime
I'm
in with my
trying to-
perspective.
yeah.
As far as not being equal, I don't think that necessarily means inferior or superior. When it comes to certain things like roles like childbearing, a woman is going to be far more productive and a lot more nurturing than, say, a man. And when it comes to
take
doing
that shit off his lips.
a lot more of the heavy lifting and the work, a man is probably going to be more suited for that role. And I don't think that makes them any better or worse. We are just built, created, and born different.
I would also like to elaborate. I am not saying that they are worse overall or better overall.
They complement each other.
Like he said, yeah, they do.
They complement each other beautifully.
They work very well together.
We
when
need
they
each
are
other for
working in that
for
proper-
offspring. I mean, that's part of the beauty of it. And I think trying to equalize them and make them the same and transition and all that, I don't believe is going to be the most conducive when it comes to raising children, but also just for overall well-being.
I want to note that you brought up children being unequal to adults. I just hope you weren't comparing women to children.
I mean, it was technically a comparison of women
Okay,
and children.
I don't need you to
suppose.
protect me. I just need you not to harm me. I can protect myself. I'm very capable of doing what I need to do. Okay?
Okay, sure.
100%.
I am an incel or an incel advocate, I suppose.
I don't know about her,
hate women
like,
at all. I think
she
we're
came in kind
different
of
and they
offended for
have
some reason.
aspects that are
I
superior
don't think he
to
came
men
off
as well.
right, but she came
It's
off
just
a
very
little too
contextual
offended.
on the subject.
is real?
I think they came in with a chip on their shoulder. Actually, I think some
that
people
toxic
came in with a chip on their
masculinity is
shoulder.
definitely a real thing. It's kind of just the idea of what masculinity should be.
But
it
let me
goes
sit my
down
black
over
ass down and
time,
listen.
saying
Let me-
that violence, sex, power, being a controlling person makes you a man.
I see it in very unfortunate places, like when the young men or boys in my family, even from like toddler age, are told, you shouldn't be crying, boys don't cry. And what that turns
up, Pooh?
into, I see it when I'm in a bookstore and a guy who tries to get my number says, why y'all always gotta act like that? And he sincerely had this like cracking voice, like he was hurt, but it was an entitlement. And that's toxic masculinity. It's saying like, you don't realize how your behavior is harmful.
I think toxic masculinity is
What
real
does
as well.
toxic masculinity mean? Is it character traits? Is it upbringing?
The suppression of feeling for a lot of men, because throughout childhood they're told man up. So because of that, there's a lot of repression. Repression then is usually channeled into anger for some people because they not always know how to express.
You don't
because
like
they're
that
told
word?
Not to express.
So
It's-
upbringing.
it's-
and-
it's
That's part
hard.
of it.
Okay.
Yes.
But
I
not
feel like-
something that's inherently a part of,
No.
of men.
No.
Okay.
I think that, when you're showing your emotions, especially to random people, random women in some cases, they will view you as weak. I was raised by a single mother. I love her. She's my mom. I love her. But I could have used being told to act like a man. I think back, there were some cases where I was too emotional, and that negatively affected how I, what happened to me.
Are
May I
hypocritical?
ask a question?
Sure.
What is your definition of weak?
I think there's toxic masculinity, but it's also the opposite.
Not
What's
being
it?
as
Toxic
forward as you could be, not
feminism?
being as,
Toxic something of that nature?
honest, or
I think
trying
there's
to
two
be
ends of
not
that spectrum.
as emotional as you
Feminim-
don't need
femininity?
to be. You don't have to cry
Yeah.
over a cut. I know, sometimes
Yeah,
cuts
yeah.
hurt a lot, but
I think
sometimes
there's
it's
both, to be
necessary
honest.
to be strong for the benefit of not just yourself, but for the people around you. It's fine to act emotional in certain cases, but I don't think it's fine to act that way with a woman. Maybe
Okay,
you
this
have a
nigga's
really
a
good
true
friend and
incel.
he sees you
Okay, I
cry,
don't really like to
for,
take this guy
your
seriously
best
at all.
friend,
He's like a
and you're
dumbass.
crying about something really personal.
Let's hear what the Asian guy has to say.
I think that's fine. In
I
any
feel
way.
like you're conflating two different situations because you started off with saying random person or even women. So it feels like, okay, this is a woman that you don't have a bond with or any type of relationship with. And then you mentioned, or in front of your best friend. That's okay to cry. Well, that woman could be your best friend. So.
I don't think you
and
can be friends
again,
with a woman, so.
Oh, he doesn't think that?
because you don't see us as equal, as you said before.
I don't think showing emotions is
Do you guys, in all honesty, do you guys think you can be close friends with a woman? I think some of my best friends are women. I truly believe. I don't really understand where people get that notion from, that you can't be friends with a woman. It's like they think about sex all the time. I guess because he's an incel.
a sign of weakness. I actually think it's a sign of strength. Men do live shorter lives, and that's because of a repression of emotions, and that's due to many things that
Marcy,
patriarchy
stop.
has
You can be
instilled.
friends
It has
women.
been shown
I have many
that
women in my
a
life.
person's well-being,
You're a
their
woman in my life.
lifespan is
The fuck?
shortened when they are not able to express their emotions. In addition, when they don't have physical touch, or when they don't have a partner to keep them company. We are human beings here. We need to talk to each other. And if you think that our health isn't affected when you're not able to express that you are sad or upset, you're wrong. I think that men's rights activists are only men's rights activists as a response to women expressing that they want more equality. I don't think they focus on actual men's rights issues, and rather it's just an attack on women and feminism.
I don't agree with her, but I feel like a lot of that shit is because it's like an attack on women. It's like their retaliation. It's like all lives matter, or
when it comes to affirmative action, and there are certain roles that
the super straight or whatever the fuck that shit's
traditionally
called.
men and women
It's like an
have been
attack.
able to serve in, and now
Yes,
women
I think some
basically
guys, not all guys,
do all of
obviously.
those things, right? Because
It's
we've
like
had such
a
strong,
defense mechanism or a reaction
advocacy for equal representation in the workplace. Whereas, for example, you'll never find a man as a midwife nurse, and I don't think it's
of course.
why there are those differences.
Men's health is
Women
very important.
in
as
like
well.
the most important parts of society have an advantage. There's a lot of positions that men simply aren't getting hired at anymore because of the fact that they're a man. And it's not
Wait,
just
my boss
in the
talking, man. I don't know
workforce,
why
it's
they're
also
sitting.
It's an attack on women and feminism.
Today,
Women have more advantages than men. Oh. Women have more advantages than men. Let me think.
I can speak from a
Right off the
hiring
bat, my
standpoint,
gut feeling is
when it
obviously
comes
fucking
to
not.
things like affirmative action.
Obviously
there are
fucking
certain
not.
roles that
That's my gut
traditionally
feeling,
men
though,
and
but
women have been able to serve in, and now women can basically do all of those things, right? Because we've had such a strong advocacy.
this guy said
for
affirmative
equal
action.
representation in the
Stop, bro.
workplace,
Stop.
whereas,
You
for
going to that
example,
university
you'll
that you went to
never
is
find a man
affirmative
as a
action.
midwife nurse, and I don't think it's appropriate. That's why there are those differences.
women in like the most important parts of society have an advantage. There's a lot of positions that
I don't even
men
know why
simply
these guys are
aren't
talking.
getting
The most
hired at
advantageous
anymore
person in the world
because of,
is a
you know, the
mid-white
fact that
man.
they're men. And
The white
it's not
man is
just
the most
in
advantageous
the
person in the world.
workforce,
Doesn't
it's
matter.
also, I would say, you know, it's a lot easier for
Man,
a
woman,
to find
it's
a
the white man
relationship,
that has the
even if
most
she,
advantages in
you
this
know,
world.
says it's finding the right guy is so
You'll
hard.
find the wrong place right now.
Sometimes for a lot of guys, finding a girl at all is hard.
Finding a girl at all is hard?
If
Okay,
I
maybe he's
have to
spitting. Maybe he's
consider what
spitting.
I wear before stepping out the house, because I don't want to draw some type of attention. I don't know how many other men have to consider, is this outfit going to be deemed safe for me? Any situation that I have experienced where like I physically felt endangered simply because I don't want to give my number out. It's part of that entitlement.
You know, I hear that
for
a lot,
men.
and that's so
You're
scary
not
for women.
entitled a conversation.
Some women
you're
just,
not entitled to my
one of my
number.
friends,
That aside,
she gives out her number to men because she's scared. There's a lot of scary guys out there that are really entitled to this type of interaction and stuff. She gives out her number willingly because she's frightened. That's so scary. Like, what the fuck? You should be able to like live and like do whatever you want to go grocery shopping without people coming up to you and chatting you up all the time.
it's
You
like,
know what
are
I
you
mean?
gonna make one example?
Yeah, 'cause
of
you never know,
the
right? You
entitlement
never
of
fucking know in
men
this
when
world.
it comes to asking for your number, be the all-encompassing thing that all men have a problem when it comes to.
Sorry, I'll
approaching
stop
women.
pausing.
Well, firstly,
It's the longest video. I'll
not
stop
just
pausing.
an example. It's not necessarily all men. I don't dislike men. I love sports. I play video games. I have bros. I hang out with dudes. We just want men to realize that if you have friends that are having locker room talk, as a man, as an ally, please say something to your friends.
Do you think repressing that is really the solution here, though? If it's in a healthy male space,
I don't think that's healthy.
Healthy male space.
Toxic in itself.
I mean, if
A
you're
healthy
making
male
jokes and
space.
you're doing all of that,
Jokes
That just sounds like
that are harmful
a
jokes
room
are
full
not
of
healthy
misogyny
because they just lead
and
to
enabling.
people normalizing things. People always say, "Oh, it's just a joke," but when someone else hears it, they don't realize how that resonates, and again, how that turns into violence. Like, this is not an isolated situation. I'm only thinking of 3 off the top of my head, because if I think of too many,
What's up, Nick?
I'm gonna spiral
so
right now.
what's the alternative? Men shouldn't talk about these things.
No, I
No
think men
one's
can
ever
have a
said
healthy
that.
dialogue. I don't think men have to be toxic in order to have a conversation. I know plenty of men that are able to have conversations about healthy, productive things, just like women
Let the
are.
Russian guy talk.
Well,
He
it's
hasn't
not
said one.
obviously
Oh, there he
something
goes.
that I have personal experience with, but only 1% of all people on the death row are women in this country. So when women and men commit identical crimes, women are much more likely to, for example, escape the death penalty. And that's just plain.
Okay, he's just bringing up
sex-based
random
discrimination.
facts. He's bringing up
That
these
I
random,
know.
irrelevant
Look, I'm
factoids to
thinking
try
about
to.
basic needs, like around
Doesn't
the
make
globe,
sense.
the
That doesn't even
women
make
who
sense,
don't
to be
even
honest,
have,
what he just
like,
said.
proper like sanitary like products.
I mean, I have to agree.
Incel.
The
No,
small
no,
things,
Nick, we're not
like
gonna do that today. We're not gonna be
attacks
doing
on a
that
box of tampons.
today.
Do you think I choose?
We're not gonna be talking about
to do
anyone
this
that we know
monthly?
IRL. We're just
No,
watching the video.
Trust me. So
Not
why
today.
should
Not today.
I
Not
have to
today.
pay taxes when this is a medical necessity?
We're just like dismissed. A lot of our symptoms, a lot of the things we report, especially women of color, but women across the board, are just treated a lot less equally.
I'd say that I'm an advocate for what I believe the role that men play in society. I believe that their views should be expressed openly.
Yeah,
that
I
they
don't-
should be
I don't
given a
wanna, like,
platform to
target
do so, and
anyone
I
or
believe
anything. I just
in
wanna watch videos.
Men unapologetically and unashamedly being men as we were created.
I
Wait.
think
Sorry,
in my
I
heart
gotta
that
pause
there
this
are
for a second because I want to read Nick's comment. Jubilee is annoying because for the correct side, they grab 3 randoms, and for the controversial side, they will find the 3 most clouded people ever. Whenever it's libs versus conservatives, they find 3 random libs and 3 social media personality conservatives. Oh, I see.
things
And also,
that
Nick, I don't
men are entitled to.
think the
am
jock
all about human
Asian
rights,
guy
and I
is
try
normal.
to
Normal,
I do
normal as
consider
well.
the rights of every human, but
That whole sentence is
every
actually an air
time I
quote
hear
because I don't
of
think
men's
he's
rights
normal. I think
activists,
a normal
hear
person
anger, and
would
I hear
probably
very
lean towards the
illogical
woman's side.
reasoning, and
Because he said
it
healthy
just
male
boils my
space, and I
blood
just think
because it's a
I
setback
can't
for all of us.
agree with that.
I feel that the other side does not understand my values.
I think a lot of times when a
Oh,
movement
normal life?
is created, the other
Oh, I have
side
no idea.
thinks that they're being attacked or think that it's some like attempt at erasure. That's not what feminism is about.
You know,
at
to be
all.
honest-
What do you need a whole men's rights activism movement for? I'm sincerely confused.
Well, I mean, like, I will.
Everyone
advocate
here
for
is normal.
positive
I'll say that.
masculinity and what
It,
men
it's
should
no,
represent and
everything is
healthy
normal. Everyone's
outlets
normal.
for men.
No
Like,
matter
I
what
still
your
think the
opinions
Boy
are,
Scouts
you're
should
still
be
a
exclusively
normal
the Boy
person.
Scouts, for example, one
You
of
know,
those things.
there's just varying degrees
Where
of
I would
normality
like to think that we
or
could get
normalcy.
some common ground is when it comes to the clear biases that are in the
They
court
all seem
system,
like normal
especially
to
in the
me.
marriage and family court
I
system.
could probably play video games
right?
with Asian
And
guy, play
right
some
there is
Overwatch with
what
the
I would
middle guy.
advocate
You know
for
what I
when it
mean?
comes to
Probably, maybe.
men's rights.
The
If he's not
things
talking
that
about no damn
stand
woman.
valid, like that I'm hearing from y'all that are like valid to me, come from a place of like I'm treated like unfairly by the system. Versus a lot of the things women are saying, it's also America and the system as well, but a lot of it is like harm from men.
How and where?
How and where what?
Where's this harm from men coming from?
Okay, it started when I was young. I'm not gonna talk too long. I was 16, got a bottle thrown at me because I told a boy no. It started when I was in a club, a boy touched me, I said no, he kept touching me, it got to the point he got violent. It gets to the point that the only reason why a man decided to stop touching me in the bookstore I talked about earlier is because he realized my husband was not too far away, and he said, sorry bro, never said sorry to me. That's why, and that's off the top of my head. This is why I get upset, because I'm like, I'm here to talk about like how you feel, but when you just dismiss the fact that women actually have experiences, that's when it seems like it's about more than your rights. It seems like it's about your ego. And that's where I get pissed off, because how dare
The thing
you
is
tell
about
another human
looking
being
like
that
an
their
incel is that
experiences,
people
what they're
just look
telling
like
you right in front of
people
your
could look like
face
anything.
is
You know
not
what I mean?
valid.
I didn't say
You
they
can't
were valid. I said
necessarily
how and
judge
why
someone
I'm
off their
trying to
looks.
How and why?
understand
Because it happened.
And that's-
it
and that-
happened
and that's the
many
bad
times.
thing.
It happened yesterday.
why
It
I'm
happened the day
here.
before.
Okay, I think some of the things that you guys are touching on, such as the court system and gender roles, are a subject of patriarchy, and that's part of what women are trying to dismantle, is those traditional gender roles.
Are there any feminist organizations that have done anything, for
Yeah,
example, to
he
challenge
is an incel,
bias
though.
against
A
men and
self-proclaimed
fathers in the
incel,
criminal
so-
court system?
Absolutely.
Can you please give me like a list of feminist advocacy
But
organizations?
I think it's
that
just
have
not a
engaged
good
in
look
meaningful
to
advocacy
to
address
say
those
that
issues,
someone's an
because
incel,
there are
because that's
actually
so
none.
negative. That's such a
Okay.
negative connotation
I know
that
you
I don't
came
want
with your
to.
little research or whatever. I
say
didn't
it.
come with a list
I
of
don't-
like feminist organizations, but I know actively that there are women's organizations that are trying to
Because some people may just
those
look like that, and then they're cool guys.
Just
You know
one
what I mean?
name, just
They're
one.
just
Again,
regular
I didn't
dudes that
come
just
with a list,
look
dude.
tragically
There are
like the
no such
stereotypical
organizations.
incel type
In what way
character. You know what I mean?
are men's rights at risk?
I think there has been
Yeah,
significant
with
progress over
you
the
see a
last
girl with red
decade or
hair. Oh
so,
my god,
especially in the
she's a
legal
feminist.
field, but I think there are still significant disparities that need to be addressed, such as poor health conditions, bias against men in the criminal justice system, bias against men in family courts.
I will
and
say
bias against men
there
in
is
the
bias against men in
educational
family
system,
courts.
especially
I
in
will say that.
colleges.
There is some bias against men. There's bias against women. There's bias against everyone, though. That's the thing. That's the thing, though. There's biases in this whole world.
Men, unfortunately, many of them
Men and
don't
women.
want to even have this open dialogue.
That's
with each
why
other.
there's no clear
We need
advantages
men
one
to
way or
help
the other,
be
in my
allies,
opinion.
to help speak
I think
to other
everyone has their
men.
own.
It strikes me like the way
advantages
you
and
phrase
disadvantages.
this, you almost want men to say certain things that you want them to say, as opposed to maybe actually listening to what they're saying.
What certain
Like
things would I want to
just
hear?
kind of like men being allies, men talking to other men, etc. I'm completely okay with that, but I'm not going to repeat
Yeah,
like
life is
feminist
hard.
talking points.
And the
to
thing is
other
about
men.
us men
all
is that we
believe
don't really get that
different
other
things. We
side.
may be under the label of men's rights activists.
We're very
but,
ignorant
for
to a lot
example,
of
I'm probably
the
most
things that women are
traditionalist
talking about.
person Here. I think we should be allies, but maybe us being allies in a patriarchy wouldn't be so bad.
We're
us
very
going
ignorant to
back
a lot
the
of things
past
that women
wouldn't
have
be
to go
so
through.
bad. It would probably be a lot happier if we were, getting married and staying married and having kids and, going to church and all that.
That's why you gotta listen sometimes when women are
speaking
talking
of
to you about their
me, I feel
problems.
like
You have to
there
listen,
are,
like sincerely,
each
because you
coming
can't just dismiss
from
that shit because you don't know.
different
You don't go through that
perspectives.
shit.
So
You
it's
don't
hard
live
to
their
ju-
lives,
again,
and
just
we
like
never
from
will.
Our
So you have to
perspectives,
listen
it's
and at
hard
least try to
generalize.
understand.
So to me, I feel like there are certain things that, even though we're not fully agreeing on it, we're things may get lost in translation, our verbiage may not be 100% correct, that we could at least agree on.
Can I ask one question? What would you envision would be the ideal man with the end goal of feminism as far as educating men or working to dismantle whatever patriarchy
If you had a
is? Like,
time
what
machine,
does that
religion would
man
not
look
exist.
It starts
You're
with
just one man. You
childhood.
cannot stop
We
religion.
have to teach children as well as girls, because we're also taught, because of toxic masculinity, what a man should be as well.
I think that we just need to hold men accountable. In order to kind of make progress, we need help from people that will listen. Because let's be real, when
You can't
we
do it, Nick.
express
I'm sorry.
our concerns,
I've seen
a
those
lot of men
Valorant
refuse
games.
to listen, but
I've
they
seen those
would be
screenshots,
more
bro. You
likely
can't
to
do it. You're
listen
not
to
him.
another man.
Do you also feel like you have an ethical obligation to challenge other women or other feminists when, for example, they deny that men face discrimination?
When it comes to things like, oh, men can't be abused, I've had this conversation with another woman, and it's the idea that just because a man may be physically stronger than us does not mean they cannot be abused. And because of that, again, fairness, women need to be held accountable as well. I want to understand their viewpoint. As a woman and a woman of color, I know how it feels to be disenfranchised.
I like her a lot.
So I want to understand why they feel the need to have a men's
I think the Asian guy came in with this air of, I know more than you, or something like that. Like
I don't think there's
the
ever a
era of-
time in my life where a person says they're
He feels like
hurting
he's
and
more
I don't at
knowledgeable
least
on the
try to
subject
listen
or whatever.
understand. My only thing is that I want the same in return. So when I'm genuinely saying I'm hurting or I've been through something, and it's not just a personal experience, because I actively do this work and surround myself with women saying I've been hurt by a man before. I get that you have stories, but I mean, that's actually my question. I haven't heard y'all stories. Like, I've sat up here and said I have 3 on the top of my head. I have about 30 plus probably. And I haven't heard y'all say, this is what happened to me.
I don't think that I'll ever invalidate a woman's feelings when she says, hey, I've been abused or whatnot. I don't think any of us here are rightfully saying that. But I think what's dangerous is when emotional testimony that may not always be what it is gets, creates bias, right?
Okay.
I don't like that, bro.
I
He's
feel
talking about
empathy
emotional testimony.
Women being
Nigga, she got attacked.
lost,
She's
being
surrounded by
misguided.
people.
Look,
She's in support groups. He's talking about emotional
I
testimony.
don't know. You can go.
Do you have any bit of empathy for anything we said up here?
Yes, I really do feel empathy for
Why
women.
was that so hard to say? Like, for the stuff that we said, do you have any bit of empathy for the stories I said up here?
Yeah,
I just want to know.
I do.
Like, I'm not even trying to be hostile. I just genuinely want to know.
Yeah, I just think that like a lot of the problems that have happened in your life are because society is not patriarchal.
Oh, he's
it's
talking
not
about society. Oh, he one of
We're
them Joker
gone, we're
guys.
lost. We're a
Society.
fallen state, right?
There is a change of guard, not necessarily a change of guard, but things
He's
are
deading our
evolving,
progress.
things are changing.
He's
And
the
I
type
feel
of
like a lot
guy,
men
like,
speak from a viewpoint.
he's like that
almost
type of gamer that
fear.
makes all gamers
A
look
lot of
bad.
men
Gamers,
are
people that play
having
games.
a hard time grasping that.
You know what I
and
mean?
feeling
Like
comfortable
he's
with
the
it.
guy that brings
I do
everyone
feel
else down.
empathy
Like, he
for
sets
your
us back.
personal experience, but I cannot sympathize with your ideological position because that ideological position is built on a fallacy.
It only takes
And
one
that fallacy is
person
actually costing,
to change
that's causing very real consequences for
the
men such as us in
perception
this
of
country.
a group.
So I understand that
And
you
he's
are
that
here
one
with
person.
us as kind of the good feminist, so to speak, that you feel empathy for men, and I believe you, but I do not believe your movement, and I do not believe your ideology.
All right, we'll leave it at that. That's a wrap, guys.
Okay, that was a good one. I like that. That was a good one. But I feel like it's hard for me because I was always on their side. I always knew that the guy side was gonna be kind of, that's like that. You know what I mean? Like I was kind of going into it knowing I'd be on the women's side, even though I'm not really taking any sides, to be honest. I feel like everyone has their own problems. Instagram versus runway models. Can anyone be? Do I care? Do I care? Instagram versus runway models. I don't care. There's more. I'm only looking at the most popular ones. If there's any good ones that you can suggest, I'd click it. Pro-life. Oh, okay. No, I don't like that because obviously I'm pro-choice. Like this doesn't make sense to me. I want something where I'm kind of like ignorant on both sides. But I feel like that's really hard. Okay, fine then. Pro-vaccine versus anti-vaccine. No, obviously I'm pro-vaccine. Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, there's so much study, there's so much science that goes into these vaccines that doesn't make sense. Rich or poor? Is there a rich or poor? Oh, is the economy rigged? Okay.
As a real estate guy, I can make millions of dollars and use the exact same tax loopholes that a Donald Trump would use and pay effectively no tax. And does that make me a bad guy, or did I just study the tax code?
It makes you a bad guy, yeah.
Oh, this one might be interesting because all of us are broke in this chat. So this one actually might be a bit poignant for all of us.
Step forward if you agree. Being poor is a choice.
Being poor is a choice? No. No. I already disagree with that.
I do not want to be disingenuous to ignore systemic issues that we all experience, but I feel like it's 2021 and there's a lot of free resources. I mean, Facebook has a lot of free courses. I think that poor is also a mindset.
Poor is a
Originally,
mindset,
when I came
but
out here, I started
it's not a
straight at the
choice.
homeless shelter. I had to flee from domestic violence.
Not
from
for a
my
lot of
family.
people.
Most people
Not
in
for a
general
fucking lot
don't
of
choose to
people.
be poor, but since I've been here, specifically in LA, a lot of people outside, they don't want to come into the shelter because they'd rather be in the tents.
I mean, I grew up poor,
Okay.
so I have been on both sides of the coin.
Okay.
And I can reflect and look back on some of the lifestyle choices that I was
Yeah.
making, some of the people that I was hanging around. So
Yeah.
I don't think that people can initially control if they're born into poverty,
Right.
but I think that there is a certain level of control that comes along with being able to have that determination and that resilience.
Not everyone is given the same
Can I have
tools
the
for that
disagreeer
control.
step forward?
To be honest, it's a mindset. I feel like, well, what are we defining as broke? Like homeless, like food stamps. Like what's the definition? I think it's being broke is a mindset for people that have the opportunities, and not everyone are given those opportunities or have those things available to them. Some people broke is not a joke. So, like, I think I'm poor as a choice. I think I could probably do more, but I've been very fortunate in my life that I'm allowed to have these opportunities. You know what I mean? Some people are not given those opportunities. And you know what it is? Because when you're broke, you do anything to get by. And you don't have the time, you don't have the resources, you don't have time to take all these courses. You have to make your next move. You have to pay your next bill no matter what. You have to do the next thing. You don't have the time to do any of that because you're always thinking about your next meal. You're always thinking about your next paycheck. And that's why it's not a choice.
We need to realize that these people are on the street not because of their own choosing, but because
but there are
of
too
the
many
system that
levels
we
of
live
poverty,
in. Perpetuates these things.
If I could speak to
Wait,
that,
I didn't read
I
what Mark
come from
said.
a family that once relied on welfare and food stamps, and I've been blessed enough to make
I agree,
millions of
Marcy.
dollars in real estate. But had I bought real estate from 2005 to 2008, I'd probably be bankrupt today. I just bought it at the right time.
People wish to be rich, they don't want to be rich. The difference is, do you take action? That being said,
He's talking like
I
one of
agree
those
with a lot
fucking
the points you're
entrepreneurs,
making
and I
about
hate
people
when they talk like that.
Not really
I hate
having
when
the
people
resources
talk like
or
that.
the opportunity to have any kind of action plan.
Some people don't even want
It's
to be
about
rich.
taking
Like, I wanna
action.
be
It's
rich.
about making a
But I
plan.
also don't want to be poor. I'm happy in the middle. And I would want to live in a society where they could perpetuate people to lift themselves out of poverty through programs and just be in the middle.
Billionaires should not exist.
Billionaires should not exist. I agree. What do you need billions
I
of
don't see
dollars
how
for?
anyone could ever spend $1 billion. It's not a necessity to have that much money, and I feel like
Well, I
there's
don't
a
know if I should
certain
say they
cap
shouldn't
in
exist.
which,
I don't know.
like,
That's not
you
fair to
can
say they shouldn't
completely
exist. That's not
survive
fair to say.
and thrive with this amount of money, and then if you surpass that, you're just hoarding.
And then we've seen what people with billions of dollars are doing with their money. They're going
People
to
with
space for
billions of
fun.
dollars, they're not
Like,
obligated
clearly,
to
if we
donate.
tax
They're
those
not
people
obligated
properly,
to
get
you
their
know,
wealth and distribute
give
it to
back
people
the
who need it.
community
That'd
or
be a
whatever.
much
They're
better
not
use
obligated
than
to do
going
anything
to
with that
space
money.
for fun.
So to say that they shouldn't exist,
Personally, I
I
don't think there's an issues with billionaires existing. The issue for me is that they need to be held accountable the same way poor people do. And I'm talking about the justice system.
When you look at a lot
Facts.
of billionaires
Facts,
who
facts, facts,
have
facts,
gotten
facts.
that way because
She's
of the
spitting.
just incredible amount of value they've given
I like her.
to society. I won't even talk about a huge, crazy billionaire. I'll talk about Jay-Z, who's a billionaire. He made amazing music. That's how he became a billionaire. And so I
No.
don't think it's the government's job to
yeah.
interject and
But
say,
he was
okay,
pushing
you
drugs
have too
first.
much, we need to give it away. I mean, it would also never happen in any other arena. No one's gonna go, hey, Simone Biles, you have too many gold medals. We're gonna take them from you, and we're gonna give them to the other people who weren't as talented as you.
I completely agree.
I completely disagree. I feel like that is the government's job. And Jay-Z, like you said, Jay-Z made his money from music. That's his labor. He's a musician. He's selling his talent. But then when he invested in the alcohol, then he's using other people who are harvesting the
Wait,
wheat,
what is this nigga talking about?
the agave. They're breaking their back. They're using their labor.
So do you think that you shouldn't invest in those people? Should they just like say, the hell with your dreams, I'm not going to invest in you?
I'm
What about the job?
What do you
they're-
mean?
They're having jobs.
Yeah, but how much are they getting paid for their jobs? Or those jobs in the third world where they're getting paid pennies,
Yeah,
and then
versus
Jay-Z
no
makes
job.
millions off their labor.
How much do you pay your employees?
You think
They're
Harvard is
okay
not
with
existing?
employees getting
Invest?
exploited,
If
is
I
what
may
I'm hearing.
interject,
The
I
rich
pay
guys are
my
okay
employees,
with
like,
people are
incredibly
getting
well, and I
exploited.
let them choose
That's
their
what they're
own
saying
hours.
right now.
Someone who works
They don't
for
give
me
a
is a
fuck
single mother,
how
$50
it's
an
done.
hour. And I think
They don't
that
care
people
about
that are providing jobs
exploitation
and
at all.
opportunities, you can
Is
hate
what
on
I'm
them
hearing.
all you want, but at the end of the day, like, nobody would work that job if it wasn't in some way, shape, or form worth it.
People who make $1 billion get a fraction of the value they create. Everybody here who has a business understands that. Even Jay-Z only gets 15 cents a record he sells. Okay?
Yes, that's
so
because he got exploited by the record label who's using his labor
No,
to make money. It's the same
you
thing.
keep using this word
when he
exploiting like
invests.
you understand the record business, of which I am in, okay? Record labels back hundreds of artists. Do you know how many go busto? Yeah. Okay? They're taking risk in an artist by the tapes, paying the engineers, marketing, etc. They're exploiting them.
This
They're
is
taking
some
on a bet.
bullshit. This is some
And they
fucking
can't just give everybody
bullshit.
50-50.
This is some
They'll go
fucking
bankrupt.
bullshit. Stop.
You don't understand the record business, and you're just yelling out these words exploiting like you know what you're talking about, but you don't.
That's why
they're not
there's-
exploiting.
That's why there's one Jay-Z and not millions
Exactly.
of them.
I
And I'm
actually
not
want
trying
to ask a question of how you define exploited and why you're saying that.
I'm using exploited in the Marxian term where your labor creates value and then your employer takes that value and distributes it unevenly to themselves and then leaves the rest for the workers. That's exploitation. My name is David. I work for Disney in the entertainment.
And you hear all
service
these
department,
horror
and
stories
I
about
make
these
around
record labels too, right?
$33,000 a year.
How's your experience been working at Disneyland?
My experience.
Agent
working at
bro, thank you so
Disneyland
much for
is
4 months. I
very
appreciate
mixed.
it.
The
Thank you
workers
so much, bro.
themselves, like my coworkers, are amazing people. Unfortunately, the company is not so great. They don't pay us
appreciate
that
you.
much. They have enough money to pay us more. I think they should just pay us more. But I don't think they're going to do that. That's why I'm advocating for a
Thanksgiving to
union
everyone.
to bargain
Happy
in our
Thanksgiving,
favor.
My name is Ginny, and I run a software design agency. And this year, I'm going to be taking home about $400,000. When I started my business, that was like all-consuming for me. Everything I did in my life was for business. And so I think my partner felt a lot of neglect. And so a lot of our arguments, a lot of the times that we had issues were because of my absence.
The economy is rigged.
The economy is rigged. I'm not well versed on this one, so I'm just gonna sit my ass down and listen to what they have to say.
If you're
I
born
lit-
in a rich family, you have more opportunities. And as someone who is poor, living paycheck to paycheck, you're stuck having to apply to jobs and settle for things that you don't like instead of being able to follow your passions.
I agree and disagree. I agree that it's rigged to incentivize certain areas and behaviors, like we have millions and millions of farm subsidies, so it supports agribusiness. It may support one area like real estate or capital investment over labor, but I don't think it's generally rigged to basically keep the rich guy rich and the poor guy poor. That part I'll disagree. But there are certain policies like the reinvestment in productive people's hands for building real estate, I would say that's a good thing. Right?
When you
I
say
don't think
productive people, like, do you just mean people with money?
No, I mean people that actually take that money, organize people, put it to work, and create value. That's what I mean by productive people.
But who creates the value? It's the workers who create the value.
Listen, there's people who take risk and they risk their money. That's creating value. What you discount is the person willing to risk their savings, okay, and provide capital for that venture and to be paid last. So if it goes busto, the worker still gets paid, the investor doesn't. If it goes well, the worker gets paid and the investor makes money. You discount the role of capital and savings in any type of venture. Like my mom didn't want to be rich. She wanted to be a school teacher and work.
Yeah,
and
rich
do
people
that and
really
live in
think
the
on a
middle ground,
different
and that's
spectrum
fine.
because they
But
don't
there are
have
people like
any
me
sense
who
of
want to take a lot of risk
perspective,
and get
or
a
they
lot of
lose that
reward.
perspective when
And
they
we put
gain
that
capital.
to work.
It's like when
And you
you're
should
when you're
respect
homies with when you're friends with your homie.
Hi, my
and
name
then
is
he
Bill Perkins.
becomes a manager.
I run a
or some
hedge
shit.
fund. I do investments and other things. I manage my own money. How much I
David?
make
Dave
annually?
lives in his own
Sometimes I
world,
lose
man.
money, but I'd say on average over 10 million a year. I took care of my dad in the last years of his life.
David
He
just
died
seems bitter
broke.
that he's broke.
I did not inherit my money. I made it myself. I really don't care about the money. Money is a tool for me to have the experiences that I want to have out of life. And there are many experiences that I want to have.
You have to have a certain level of awareness and knowledge to know the rules of the game. And I think that there are barriers put in place to kind of prevent people from knowing the rules, but I think that it's out there and you can have access to it, and it's, you know, I think that knowing
I
the
agree
rules
with
is
you.
different.
I know the rules, and I think they're
David talks a
disgusting.
lot,
That's
though.
why I
He
want
does
to
Why don't
talk
you play the game then? I mean, you can
I think they're disgusting. Why would I want to play the game?
As a real estate guy, I can make millions of dollars and use the exact same tax loopholes that a Donald Trump would use and
Exactly.
pay effectively no tax. And does that make me a bad guy, or did I just study the tax code?
It makes you a bad guy, yeah.
You think so?
If you do that, yeah.
I'm following the
definitely.
law to a T.
The law is wrong. Yeah.
Yeah, I believe
Why is
I
it
believe
wrong?
so
It's
as
the
well.
law.
I'm not.
You think
Why is
that
the
because
wrong is the
is always
law?
right?
No, certainly not.
No,
that-
I'm
that's
not
that type
saying
of-
that.
That's my point.
I'm
That's
not
the
saying
type of
that,
law is
but
written
the
to
reason-
encourage investment
Investment
is scary.
which they want.
Not
so
all
he's
laws are made
investing.
equal.
So like the law is written to encourage certain things. If you disagree with it, you can go lobby and change. But he's not a bad guy.
I know you mentioned that there are barriers in
bad guy.
place that do keep people
He's a bad
kind of in impoverished conditions, but I don't think that we all acknowledge like the mental.
Well, that's where I was going. So if I can reflect on myself, I mean, I remember when I was living in poverty, I was just trying to survive. So I didn't even have the brain capacity to try to, or the willpower to kind of even desire to access the rules of the economy. But,
Right.
I mean, I
Why
had
is
an
this guy
epiphany,
that
and I
makes
literally
millions
woke
of
up one day
dollars
and I was like,
paying
I
$0
cannot live the rest of my life like this, and I don't
I'm
care if
making
people call me
barely enough
lame,
to pay for this
square,
rent,
They're gonna question my blackness.
and I gotta give
mean,
back
I don't
money at the
care.
end of the year.
I'm getting
Right.
out.
Does that make
Well,
sense?
speaking about blackness, do you think there's a correlation between people from the African diaspora and people of color and poverty? You don't think there's like a relationship there?
It's true that, you know, I belong to a community that makes less than certain other communities. That's true. Significantly less. But you can't look at differences between groups and say it's only because of systems. Systems played a huge deal to it. I'm not discounting that at all. Like, it's a real big deal, and we're working to change that. But also,
we're
I mean,
not. Who's working
statistically,
to
like
change anything?
people from my old neighborhood and people, you know, around this in these communities, they spend about 50% more on shoes than people who are not in those neighborhoods. And it's like, man, that.
Well, not
like,
only
what you
that,
talking
Todd,
about?
but I think I looked up a recent statistic that said that Asian households, their children tend to study 13 to 15 hours a week, where in a black household, it's like 3 hours a week.
I know you said it's not like a race issue, but when you think about the way that we
What
got
the fuck
here,
these
as, like,
bitches
African
talking
people,
about?
It was a race issue.
What the
We
fuck
didn't
these
have a
bitches
chance
talking
to
about right now?
discover America like the other people did. So I feel like how you had mentioned that Asian Americans, they study more than black households. You don't feel like those communities are kind of socialized in their upbringing to be more inclined to care about their finances, as opposed to like African Americans, we would rather look rich than actually be rich. I think that's a part of like our community.
It's a culture, it's a choice.
Well, it's a
It's not a choice.
I don't
To a certain extent.
I think it's a choice.
2021.
I do think it's a choice. I'm not going to say it's not a choice, but
It's
I'm
not a
saying, do you feel like some people don't have the same choices as other people's in different communities?
I think some people don't have the mental capacity to allocate the energy to learn the rules of the game, quote unquote,
I
because
hate this,
their
the game.
instincts are
I hate
kicking
this,
in
the
to
game.
just survive.
Why do you
I
have
think
to
trauma
game
plays a heavier
anything in
role
this
than
society?
we
Why do you
like
have to
to account
get?
for.
Why do you have
Trauma
to
is
gain
really where
anything
I'm
in this
here.
society?
I come from a
Like,
family,
what-
a heavily cult, Islamic family, and the things that I was doing in my life they didn't agree with. They pretty much sent people to my house to kill me. I was set up multiple times. They hacked my social media pages, both my iPhones, you know what I mean? So I don't want to just
why do we have to
kind of
scam to be
ignore
on top?
trauma
Why do
as
we
if it
even have
doesn't
to
really
have a
matter
prop?
in terms of what you are capable of doing, because people that are traumatized and people that do deal with a lot of
There should
oppression
never be a top and there should never
tend
be
to
a
get some
bottom.
of their
There should
choices
always just
removed.
be middle.
I can acknowledge that, yes.
My name is Hanifa. I'm an author and I'm currently homeless, so I don't make any money right now. I grew up Muslim my entire life, and in Islam, it is permissible to marry your cousin. So my family enforced sexual acts in between cousins. It led to me having to flee my hometown and come all the way to California, which is 2,600 miles away, just so that I can avoid being killed.
I've worried where my next meal will come from.
Yeah, that's me. That's me, 100% me.
Me and my partner right now are applying for EBT
Yo.
because we are just like living check to check right now, and I'm supporting both of us because she just lost her job. We're like literally trying to get help from the government so that we can know that we have the funds to get groceries.
I mean, like
It's so hard.
like the top
and
1%.
It feels like it's not as accessible as people make it seem.
To have everything stripped away from you and to not know where you're gonna sleep.
I've been there.
It's just very difficult. You know, it almost feels like a past life of having
literally
like
been there.
everything. You know, I had
Evicted in
bags. I
June,
had to take my little Michael Kors back to the pawn shop, take every item of clothing that I had to Plato's Closet so that I could buy a one-way ticket for myself and my child. I didn't know what we were gonna eat. I didn't know where we were gonna sleep, and not to be a victim, but it's not my fault why I'm here, you know? It's because I speak out against cult behavior. I speak out against pedophilia. And publishing my story the domino effect of that has led me to not knowing where I'm gonna eat, and I've never had that happen to me before prior to 4 months ago. And that's just really tough.
Thank you for sharing your story. That's really powerful. And yeah, like if you need help, like after this, let's just talk. That pulls on my heartstrings because my mother raised us 3 kids by herself, and my father was a wife beater. He was also a child molester, so anyone listening can connect the dots on that. I feel for you.
I almost want to jump out because it was only a short period of time, you know, and just that short period of time when you're busted or whatever, and you're just like, whatever, but you guys were like in the real thick of it. You guys were in the trenches. I visited the trenches for like a couple
You had a
months.
toe.
I had a toe in the trenches, you know?
So I'm getting paid
bro.
paycheck to
Shut the
paycheck.
fuck
And
up.
on top of that, I have a crippling gambling addiction. I'm addicted to weed. I'm addicted to alcohol. I'm addicted to vaping. And as soon as I have that direct deposit, it's like I have no control. Almost like I go, like I black
wait.
out and I start
I think she's
gambling,
giving a really
start
bad
ordering
example.
drinks,
She's
start
the one
ordering
person in the
weed,
group that makes the perception
and
all
then
wrong.
I come out of that
because now it looks like a choice.
no control feeling, and I'm like thinking, how am I gonna feed my pets this week? My cat, my dog. Like I had all these plans.
She's giving a
up to
really
my
bad look.
Payday.
I think she's
before
giving a
I know
really
it, all my
fucking
money's
stupid
gone.
look right now. And
It's addiction.
When you're in a position when you don't have a lot of money, you can't do a lot of things for fun, and you're often just like working. I have to survive, I have to feed myself. And so when you get that paycheck and you have just a little bit of enough money to do something that will spark joy for you, it's so hard to be like, no, I'll put it aside to save. It's like, I'll just do this one thing for myself, I'll just treat myself. And then it's
hard.
Like,
it is hard.
Now
It's hard.
I completely understand
When
what
I
you're
get my
saying, and I
paycheck,
used to think like that too, but I also
I want to spend it on things because I work so hard. And I deserve nice things, don't I?
Not have
don't
that
we all deserve nice things?
because the gratification of being
I have to put it
infinitely
away.
stable
I have to
or
put this
more
money away.
stable
It's hard.
Is
because,
more important.
It's hard.
My name is Brittany. I am a holistic health practitioner, and I make around $130,000 a year. My relationship with my brother has literally crumbled since I have acquired more money. He only calls me when he needs something. The only person that I really have a relationship with
She
is
needs her
my
locks
mom.
redone.
I haven't spoken to my brother.
I'm getting my locks just like her. We're gonna go. No, that's too long though. I feel like it's a little too long.
I want them to be happy and and successful more than
Yeah,
anything.
she has amazing locks. Yeah.
But it almost feels dehumanizing to be looked at as just the help and not a sister or a cousin or something like that. Yeah.
My name is Mia, and I'm currently working as a customer service representative for a moving and storage company. I make $45K a year. My family has always been like, oh, you gotta look presentable, you gotta look nice whenever we're going out to eat or to the mall. But as an adult, you know, a lot of my money isn't going to
Nick. Waddick. Just because she's rich doesn't mean that she can't be sad. You know what I mean? Just because she's rich doesn't mean she hasn't been through traumatic experiences. It's not good to downplay or dismiss people just because she's rich. You know, it's like, you know, fucking, what I see on Twitter today, Zion. He couldn't even talk about his favorite foods because people are going to clown on him. And then people in the comments like, what does he care if people clown on him on social media? He's rich, bro. It doesn't matter. You can't say anything you want to people just because they're rich and they can shrug it off or anything like that. You know what I mean? We're all still human beings, is what I'm saying. So if she's been through some shit, she's been through some shit. She just has more money than us. That's all it is.
Or jewelry, makeup, whatever it might be. So you'll catch me in like sweats and a t-shirt, and I just don't feel presentable enough to be at the mall, to be at a restaurant.
And also, I don't want to keep pausing, but also that's a real thing. That's a real thing that when you start to get more money or more happening in your life, the people in your life start to treat you differently. The people in your life start to resent you, and you know, your loved ones, they start using you for money, or they only want to contact you for money or for other stuff. It's different, bro. When you have income, people start getting jealous. It's crazy.
Because of that embarrassing feeling and shame of not investing more in how I present myself.
That's why you keep income to yourself? Yeah, me too.
Just hanging out back there.
I don't make a lot of money, but I still keep whatever I make to myself.
So have you ever worried about where your next meal was going to come from? Ever?
Once.
Oh, no, I definitely have. Like when I was in college, I was trying to buy groceries, and the lady behind me ended up paying groceries for me, and it's so embarrassing because my card got maxed out and I had no money in the bank account, basically.
Yeah, your own brother? Come on now.
Is not enough for minimum wage.
It depends on where you live, but in Toronto, $50 is not enough because that's what.
I did have a question
Near $40,000 a year.
You both mentioned that you suffer from addiction, and that as soon as you get a paycheck, it's gone, whether it's gambling or weed or shopping or whatever. If you had a higher income, would that change?
Personally, yes, because the whole reason I gamble is like, let me get that $60,000 win and I'll stop gambling. That's my mindset, right?
No, she's
and
insane.
another thing
She
is,
needs to
I
stop
feel
talking.
like if I were to have
You're making us broke look
passive
bad.
income, I guess you
Stop,
can
stop.
say, or
You're making
be
us broke look bad.
financially stable,
Stop.
I can pursue and distract myself with my actual passions. Like, I want to start a true crime
If she
YouTube
makes
channel,
more
but I don't
money,
have the
I
laptop, I don't have
100%
the
guarantee
camera.
she's gonna
The
gamble
addiction
even
takes
more of it.
control, so I don't think
It's
about
the
the things I
addiction. It's
don't
not
have,
about
and
your
I just feel
position
numb
where you
and
are
thoughtless,
financially.
and
It's
I'm
your
just
whole
enjoying
addiction.
my TV and. So yeah, I feel like it would change. I would be able to have other distractions that are beneficial to me in a positive way.
If you had more money, you could probably have access to help, like medical help.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
No.
because that's really
Maybe.
expensive, and you can't afford it living off
Maybe.
minimum wage, you know?
Maybe. But
I
that's
feel
such
like a lot of jobs will pay minimum wage, but they will expect maximum effort.
Facts.
And I'm like, if you're gonna pay me minimum wage, I'm putting in the bare minimum effort.
I've always looked at it the opposite way.
That's not.
Like if I go
that's not
into
a
a
good
company
way
and they're
to-
paying me minimum wage, I do everything that I can to get promoted.
Okay,
Hi, my
okay,
name
okay,
is
okay,
Todd.
okay.
I am 29 years old. I'm
With
a real
Todd?
estate investor
I'm with
and a
Todd and the
YouTuber,
other
and
guy
I
at the
make
same time.
about $1.4 million per year. When you grow up the way I did with no money and your mom is struggling and crying herself to sleep every night because you can't pay the bills, that takes a toll on you as a kid and seeing that struggle. I got my first job when I was 12 years old, literally shoveling horse poop for $3 an hour. And I looked at myself when I was 12 years old and I was like, you've got to make $1 million a year by the time you're 30.
My name is Sean. I'm 23 years old. I'm a musician and content creator.
I think Sean, I don't want to call him lazy, but when I hear that when people put in the minimum amount of effort for minimum wage, I think that rings true if you've been at the job for years and you've been already trying for a long time. Like I was at Walmart for 5 years, and I worked my ass off, to be honest. I worked my ass off. I got passed up for promotions by you know, nepotism or you know favoritism, what have you, because I know I was the best, bro. And at that point, that's when you stop trying. But don't stop trying when you first get the job, bro.
And I make minimum wage at a retail job. If I wasn't having to work every day to pay my rent, then I would have more time to make music and connect with people and find venues to perform my
I was
music.
breaking my ass
and if
off
I had the money, I
for
would be
15
able
bucks.
to market and promote my music so that it could reach a wider audience.
For me, my mindset is working minimum wage is always temporary. It's always been like, okay, we work minimum wage, but we're gonna work harder to get promoted, and then we're gonna do something else with our lives.
Many, many, many years ago, you could go live off the land. You didn't have to work for somebody in order to survive. All the land is taken. It's in federal land. You can't go fishing in these federal streams. You can't do that. So that's not possible.
I'm a
at
poor
scale.
person.
In order
but
to survive, you must work for someone else.
I know
that forces
there's no
wages
gain,
down.
to be honest. You gotta work
People
hard
can't
to be
just
rich.
go, F you, I'm not gonna
Some
work, I'm
people
gonna
just
chill
want
and
to
work
be
on my
rich,
novel or do whatever.
but don't wanna
So that's the part where I agree with you on
to
like,
be rich. You
I'm
know
a
what I mean?
supporter of UBI so that people
But I'm
aren't
not on the
forced
rich
to work.
people's side either.
And where I disagree
I'm a broke nigga for life.
is that we don't pay people based on what they need. And you were kind of pointing to this. I give the minimum effort if you pay me minimum wage. But there's certain jobs that are not worth $15 an hour. They're just frankly not worth it. Maybe they're worth $5, maybe they're worth $2. I want you to watch TV for an hour in your house and tell me how many commercials come up, because I'm doing a survey. I want to pay you $7 an hour. You think I should have to pay you $15 an hour for that? Or would you take $7 an hour to sit on your couch and count commercials that show up on the television?
I mean, yeah, I would take any money.
Okay, so everybody here agreed that it should be $15 an hour minimum wage.
Yeah.
But by making the wage $15 an hour, you just eliminated a job that he's willing to do.
More money,
I don't
more
like that
problems.
either, to be honest. More money, more problems? I believe so, yeah. Yep, 100%. 100%
More money, more problems,
yeah.
but that's a path that I'm willing to take on because
I think
the
so.
problems that come
I
along
think
with
so.
not having money.
100%.
I
to be
can't
honest.
imagine going back there. I made it a point to position myself.
People think when you get money, all of a
adjacent
sudden
to
you're not
people
depressed.
who I
All of a
felt like I
sudden
could
your
learn
life is
from.
on the
I remember
is
parking
on
my
track.
little
Listen, I
Chevy
had a lot of money
Cruze
at one point in my life.
off of Griffith
It's
Observatory
not, bro.
in
It's
Hollywood
stress because
Hills
it's
just
always,
to be around
it's
money.
always something else.
You guys mind if I start?
Yeah,
It never gets
A
easier.
lot of
It's
the
always something
problems in
else,
my life
bro.
would
It's
be
always something
solved
new
with
that pops
just-
up.
Not even if I was rich, but just like a little bit more money, I would just have so much less stress and less things to worry about, and I wouldn't be finding myself in these situations where
At the same time,
I'm worried about
money does
how am I going
bring
to pay rent, how am I going
relief
to
and
get
satisfaction
gas to
and-
drive, how am I
and a
going to
sense of
eat?
security.
More money,
Like, it's a
like
security
more
blanket,
social
you know what I mean?
responsibility, right? Going back to
But it
Like,
alleviates
if you're a
some
billionaire, then it's you have
things,
social
but
responsibility
brings on new
to
things.
take care of people
So,
who might
I don't
have
know
less than you.
if life gets easier.
I'm not
if you get
seeing
more money.
that. In modern
You
day
have
life.
billionaire beef.
In,
You
in
got a
mo-
billionaire
modern day
beef.
life, what are billionaires
Yeah,
doing?
Yeah,
I want
replace
to add
problems.
real
Exactly.
quick to what you were saying that I have my
replace
first
your
felony
problems
when
with
I was
new
14 years old. I had gotten a DUI in 2018, so I was still going in and out
Yo,
of
she's a
courthouses.
mess.
I'm struggling trying to get a job, applying, getting interviews,
DUIs,
getting a
addiction.
job offer, background check,
She's a
offer
mess.
rescinded, and that hurts a lot. But I'm over here watching The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, and Yolanda Hadid's daughter just so happens to also get a DUI, but she's taking off in her modeling career like it was just a hiccup. I'm also seeing cases of affluenza where this kid driving his dad's truck
that
drunk
one
killed
girl.
someone, and he gets off for affluenza, which means
8
you're
months
too
in
rich
prison.
to know what's good or bad, so you don't get any
Oh, I've
repercussions.
never.
Yeah, it
So
was
to
in
me,
Hollywood too.
I agree with my punishments. I messed up, and I will accept
But
it.
you want it to be fair treatment.
Exactly,
Yeah,
because
you've
when
done
I
your
see
time.
that, it's
Yeah,
just
yeah,
slap in the
facts,
face.
bro.
Like,
It solves
what
some
is
problems,
the
but
justice
obviously you get
system?
new
That's
problems.
not justice.
Listen, I like the song "More Money, More Problems."
I like it too.
It's jamming.
I love
but
the song.
it's really more money, different problems.
Yes.
Yeah, there it is.
And that's a cut.
Okay.
We did it.
That, I think, yeah, that guy was on point at the end. He was saying some shit I didn't agree with. I mostly agreed with the rich guys, to be honest. I mostly agreed with the rich guys near the end. I think my opinion got swayed a little. I thought I was going to agree with the poor guys, but I actually got my opinion swayed a bit towards the rich guys. Because a lot of these guys actually were not nepotism babies. They're not born with opportunity. A lot of these guys worked for it, like this guy, and actually all of them, to be honest, worked for it. They're rich and they worked for it, and so they understand both sides. They don't understand like in 2021. They don't understand, but they were definitely in the trenches. Okay, obviously this one's dumb as fuck. Flat earthers versus scientists, stop. Conservative teens versus liberal parents. What the hell? They switched it. Isn't it usually conservative parents with liberal teens? Okay.
Middle ground is a social experiment that brings humans with opposing beliefs together. These discussions may
middle
contain
grounds
viewpoints that are the result
because they
of
bring out some
misinformation.
interesting topics that
Remember
I
to
never
seek out
really think
experts
about
and to be
myself.
critical of
Because
your
I'm not
own
really like a
biases while
critical
forming an
thinker
opinion.
or
Please see
a
the
thinker of
humanity
the
in each participant, and
socio-economic
as
state of the
always,
world.
we encourage
I think about
empathy.
video games, I think about boobs, and I think about fucking my job. So I don't really get to think or talk about these types of subjects.
You're equating some minor inconveniences in your privileged life to
Why would you assume my life
an
is privileged?
unsupported.
But why would you assume my life is privileged, though? I mean, I don't say that about you. Why would you assume my life is privileged?
I'm privileged.
Okay, that's fine, but why would you assume my life is privileged?
For one, you're a man.
Oh, we're getting to that shit already. Okay, well, hold on. Yeah, Pooh, I'm shaving my head next week.
Step forward if
I
you
can't do it
agree with the prompt. The government has no right to tell people what to do with their body.
Yeah, for sure. For sure, 100%. Why should the government have a say?
Vaccines.
Why should the government have a say?
Yeah.
What did Drake say? I don't actually. Who cares about Drake? This is a 26-minute video. I can't pause.
Okay. I stood here because of vaccines, but I know a lot of you guys probably look at me like, oh, what about abortion? Now, the thing is, when it comes to abortion, two bodies are involved. It's the woman and it's the fetus. The fetus, you know, has a heartbeat, it has DNA. It should have rights.
When?
Life begins at conception.
That's not when the heart's there.
Heartbeat starts at 4 weeks. It's not just a clump of cells, it is life. At 21 weeks, it can live outside of the womb. Abortion ends with murder and death.
Over 90% of abortions happen within the first 10 weeks.
That's still, I think that's not acceptable.
But they still have the potential of having life, though. The mortality rate of a fetus getting aborted is 100%. It's going to die when it's aborted.
And you're very lucky you'll never have to experience what it's like to have to make that choice.
But what if I become a father and, you know, the woman who I got pregnant wants to have an abortion? It's going to affect me.
You would have a discussion with your partner then and decide what you're going to do and be glad that you have a choice to even discuss with that partner.
Unfortunately, human nature, if you take away the option or the right to do that, then they'll find it another way.
And it will
Conservative
be unsafe.
youth?
And
Yeah,
would
they
you
do.
support the mom? Would you
Because
support the mom in that
they're
scenario?
very
The mom had an
passionate,
abortion, or the mom-
emotional, and
No,
outspoken.
She gave birth.
Oh, of course. I would support her. I'd say what you do is a good thing. And
No,
you
no, no, no. Support her financially for the rest of her life or for the rest of the baby's life.
Are you talking about
What's
like?
up, Fold?
What do you mean, me support her?
Oh,
Like as
you're-
a citizen, or?
I think you're one of the first people
We
that
do have
came in
child
here
support, and
with
it comes
a
from
bold-ass
taxpayer
head.
money.
There's foster care, there's
Fold,
adoption, there's
don't
mothers
resubscribe.
waiting.
Those systems
You
are
can have
very
that
broken
custom
and
fold
people
badge,
all the
bro.
time
Don't
are
resubscribe.
trying to stop funding for programs like that.
Now, I want to ask you guys: do you support vaccine mandates?
Yes.
So I mean, you stepped forward and said the government shouldn't tell you
Someone
what to
gives
do
you
with your
back.
body, though. Why would you support?
My issue is that I believe that the government should not be able to tell me what to do with my body, but I have to accept the consequences.
Oh, actually, I know
of
who
the
it was. This
choices
is
that I
literally
make
6
with
days
my
ago.
body.
Thank you, Lily,
The
for gifting
vaccines,
a
for
full sub.
instance, I absolutely felt that everyone should get vaccinated. Why? Because this was a pandemic. But if you don't want to, I don't think the government should have to tell you that you have to. But you then have to suffer the consequences of your choices, which means you cannot patronize certain places. You can't put other people at risk.
I know you're saying they're doing it to protect us, but the coronavirus
Conservative youth
has
are
I think,
so
survived at
damn
almost
disrespectful
98%,
and rude.
99%, and we're mandating these vaccines. Why are we not mandating the flu?
What's frightening to me is that you're equating some minor inconveniences in your privileged life to
Why would you assume my life is
That's
privileged?
just you thinking facts.
But why would you
facts.
assume my life is privileged, though? You don't know my life. I mean, I don't say that about you. Why would you assume my life is privileged?
I'm privileged.
Okay, that's fine, but why would you assume my life is privileged?
For one, you're a man.
You know, most people commit suicide are men. Most people who work in dangerous workplaces are men. Most people who fight in war are men.
And who set that system up?
Yeah.
Ooh, wait, hold on.
Well, I think I give a unique perspective on this because I actually do agree with the vaccine mandate. I think COVID was just a huge disaster, and I think it could have ended a lot sooner if things were more organized.
Definitely. As far as whether the government should intervene on people's bodies, I think there are a lot of instances where the government should. One, to
I
protect
thought that was
the
Aaron
society
Paul for a
in
second.
general. especially in cases such as a pandemic where the disease could literally wipe out cities. In other instances as well, such as drug use, I think the government
yo,
should
they got that
intervene
meth
because when
head
you
guy
have a
here.
society that's addicted to
Oh shit, they serious
opioids
about this
or
episode.
crack, it spreads like wildfire, and I've seen it firsthand. It's very difficult to control without the help of government. Now, on the topic of abortion, that one's very complex, and in general, I always want to favor a woman's right to choose. But I think there's also a very fundamental question that both of you brought up: is at what point is a fetus a human or a person? Let's say a child is 8 months in the womb, and at that point, the baby has a heart, the baby
8
has a
months
brain,
in the womb
has
is
legs,
deep.
has arms.
How do you feel about that
It's
though?
Okay.
How do you feel about that though? Okay, when's the last time you can even abort a baby? What, 6 months or something? Is that really the last time? How do we feel about aborting, like at the very? Oh, it's 6 weeks? No. They can abort up to 10 weeks. 8 months is pretty much damn near a baby. Is it 6 weeks? 6 weeks is what? Second trimester? First trimester? 6 weeks is the beginning of second trimester, right? Or first trimester? No, it's still first trimester. Never mind. What does how do you define? This is a good question that the guy asked. How do you define what like a baby is? Is it the heartbeat? Is it the eyes? Is it the brain? Is it? Because I'm pro-choice, but if there was a way to legally abort a baby at like 8 months, that's like damn near a baby. I don't know.
For that to be terminated, in your
Nobody
opinion?
is doing that, and nobody is having abortions with viable fetuses unless it is a medical emergency that will kill the baby and the mother.
My name is Ben. I'm a business consultant for a telecom company, and I'm a liberal dad. When it comes to the abortion issue, I am not exactly sure where I stand. I am not
Yeah. You know what?
pro-choice
She's
or
right. You know why?
pro-life.
My name is
Because
Dawn.
people
I'm a
create
regional
these
sales manager for a
outlandish
dialysis company,
examples,
as well as a
these
therapist,
uncharacteristic,
and I'm a good
uncommon,
parent. As
very
far as my
rare,
views on
less
abortion,
than
to be
1%
honest, it
examples
just
to try to
makes me
thwart
very sad.
your
I
opinion. That's just never gonna
can't
happen.
believe that we are
They try to
moving backwards by taking
uproot
people's
your whole
rights away
argument
to
with
choose
that one
what's happening
hypothetical.
to their body.
Not being an LGBTQ plus ally makes someone a bad person.
Not being an LGBTQ plus ally makes someone a bad. What's an ally? Like just someone that's
strong,
It's a general way to put it. I would question someone's empathy.
That's it.
And their awareness of the other people around them, because I guarantee you know someone that's LGBT.
And their environment.
Right.
This is a tough one for me,
Discussing
to be
the
honest.
validity of the existence
This is
of
a
other
tough one
human
for me,
beings.
to be honest.
Isn't
I
a
have to really think
political
about it.
issue. That's like
It's there.
I support.
there's something wrong with you.
But if
you,
someone decides
no,
not
trans
to
people
support-
don't exist. Obviously they do. I would like to think that it's a safer world
Yes.
to be LGBTQ, but that
Yes.
would be naive.
Of course.
People are getting murdered for being trans, you know,
yes, they are. Yes.
and gay. It's scary. I have 3 kids. I have 3 boys.
Oh.
One of them is trans. I worry that, I mean, for however progressive a new generation seems,
I think there's no reason for you to never
I have to
not
think
support
about, will there be violence done? Which,
LGBTQ.
I mean, every parent worries about violence. That's part of the
LGBTQ,
gig
yeah.
of being a parent.
I think there's no reason you
and
should
I've got
never
an
not
extra-
support.
I've got a new layer.
But at
My
the
child is
same
in
time,
a wonderfully privileged situation.
if someone were
where
to
they
say,
have a lot of support.
actually, no, you know, I can't justify it in my
But
part.
as they
If
get
someone were
older,
to say,
their
I
circle
don't
gets
like gay people,
wider,
I don't
and my
like
sphere of
lesbian, I don't like
influence
trans
gets
people, I couldn't-
less effective
I
as they
couldn't
get older. You know?
continue on being associated with that
I'm
person,
Cindy.
in my opinion.
I am a stay-at-home mom,
Ah.
and I am a liberal parent. One of my children
It's like,
came
why?
out as trans
There's no good reason to never
2 years
not support
ago. Mine and my husband's response
and acknowledge
was,
LGBTQ.
"That's great. Would you like to go by these pronouns?
there's no
and
reason
would you like to
other
pick
than
out a
being,
name? Let's
like, bigotry or
make sure that we talk to a gender specialist so we
ignorant
know
or-
what options there are, and we'll just take this
There's no good
one
reason.
step at
Religion,
a time.
yeah. Oh, I
We'll
forgot
move
about religion.
forward
Religion.
with the best
See, that's where it gets
information
tricky because I'm very
Can they disagree a step forward?
non-religious. I'm very non-religious. So that's where it gets tricky because I'm
provide a
very
unique
ignorant
perspective on
to
this because I'm
religion
actually
and everything
bisexual.
like that. So.
So I think not being an ally, as long as you're not harming people, you're not harassing people, you're not posting on social media that these people suck, then I don't think you're a bad person for that.
As a Christian, I don't think that being LGBTQ aligns with God's view of the family.
Religion
that I
should,
will disrespect them in
I don't
any
think
way.
religion should
I
excuse
just think
hatred.
that
I don't think so
it's a sin.
either.
As far as your faith
But
is concerned, what would happen if your child
I'm not
came out
religious.
to you that they
You know
were
what I mean?
gay,
I
bisexual,
haven't been
trans?
brought
I
up
think
in
that
a
if the
in a
sin is not
household
practiced
where it's
upon,
ingrained into my memory
it's not a
and
problem.
ingrained
It
into
can be dealt with.
my
If-
core
especially
beliefs and
with
values.
transitioning. It usually comes
So
from mental
I don't know.
problems
For
like
me, I can't really
depression,
talk about the religious
anxiety,
side.
and all those
I can only
things.
say
So you think
if
they
you're not
can
religious and you
be
still
kind of taught to
bigotry
not
and
be
stuff,
gay?
No, I think
Pray the
it's,
gay away.
You support conversion therapy?
no, I don't think that we can convert anyone into doing anything. I would not ostracize my child, but I would not support it, just like I don't support any sin.
So I think that if you want to be transgender, you could be transgender. We live in again, I said, a free nation. But if you're asking for my opinion, I believe that men and women are completely different. We have different chromosomes, different bone structure. If you are a transgender woman, I still view you as a man. You could express yourself as a woman, that's fine. But I don't believe that society should automatically, say that, okay, you're a woman. Let's say, for instance, there's a 18-year-old biological man, but says that they are a woman now. They still have male genitalia. They could walk into a woman's locker room and show off their male genitalia. I don't agree with that. I don't think that's okay.
That's not happening.
It is happening, though.
Is it really happening?
That is literally transphobia.
It's
That's
rare,
that
though, but
dumb shit, bro. That's that dumb shit hypothetical that they
creepy
invent.
guys are.
They
I'm at
invent
much more
these fake
danger in a women's
scenarios.
restroom from
When
a
has that
cis,
ever fucking happened?
Gender, straight,
I hate that shit. Why do they
than I
always
am
do
a trans
that?
person.
They always invent these scenarios that are never gonna happen.
Gender-neutral bathrooms, like
obviously
women
it
having to go to the same
could
bathroom. Do you think that could increase the chances of rape or assault?
They already exist. It's interesting that men are only concerned about this rape in the bathroom when we're having a conversation about trans folk.
Right! Why is all of a sudden a trans person a rapist? Oh, I'm yelling. I don't want my neighbors to be like, oh shit, he's talking about that real down there.
But gender-neutral bathrooms just stem from this idea, though.
No, this idea that rape is going to suddenly go on the rise because of gender-neutral bathrooms stems from transphobia.
That is transphobic. Like, why? It's like when you find out, like when you have a gay friend and all of a sudden, oh, I don't like that gay friend. Oh, not every gay person has to like you, Oh, he's gay. Oh, does he like me? Not every gay person likes every male. Not every, and not every, what?
Years old, and I'm on the conservative teen side. I think that transitioning does
I
more
don't want to hang out
harm
with
than
them. You
good.
won't like me.
And
No,
I
Negro.
think that
He
we
will
are
not
born
like you.
in the
You are a
body that
fucking
we're
brute.
given, and we should stay that way. God has created us in His image.
Don't do that gay shit
and
up.
I don't think we should change the way we
They
are.
never liked you to begin
Owning
with.
a
Stop
gun
hyping yourself up.
is a basic human right.
Own a gun is a basic human right? No. That gay nigga, yeah, facts.
I absolutely hate hearing about school shootings on the news and just shootings in general.
He's never looked at you
it's
once.
horrible.
Or maybe he
this
has,
isn't
but like...
Spider-Man's not going to save people. People have the right to protect themselves.
A lot of mass shooters target gun-free zones because they know there's not going to be a person who's going to fight against them or shoot them back. There's a lot of mass shootings at schools, and that's because schools have gun-free zones. I view owning a gun as a right to defend myself. You look at countries that have banned guns in the past, the USSR, Nazi Germany, you look at China under Mao Zedong, they stripped their citizens of arms so they could oppress them. And I think the reason why our founding fathers enshrined the Second Amendment is because they wanted us to protect ourselves against tyrannical government and to protect ourselves against danger around
tyrannical government.
I think that as a woman's perspective, if as a woman you get into a
I can see that
dangerous
perspective.
situation, for example, with
I'm
a man,
not
having a gun
pro-gun,
and knowing
but
how
I
to
can
use a gun is
see
the only way that
his
will protect me.
perspective.
Having my tiny little pepper spray won't help me
I can
forever.
see
I think
the
definitely if you
perspective of-
take away guns, the bad guys will always get their guns one way or another.
I Like I live in
I
Los
can
Angeles.
see the
and LA
perspective,
has
so
strict
I
gun
have
control laws. This is my perspective
not
of it. I
much
think
to
LA
say.
has become a more dangerous
But
city.
I wouldn't say
and
it's
I
a
feel very
human
unsafe
right.
walking down the street.
I think a
just
human right would
not
probably
armed.
be
Crime is on the
shelter,
rise in America,
food,
and I think
water,
one
which
of the
we're
ways
not
to stop
given.
crime is by
It's not a
owning
given that we'll
I
have
definitely
those.
think that there should be this control in place to who
I don't think a gun
buys
is a human
guns.
right.
You couldn't just be able to go to a store and buy
A
guns. There
human
should be
right.
regulations into who buys guns and who shoots.
Yeah, I can understand wanting to defend yourself.
I
Obvious.
actually debated whether or not I was going to sit down because I do believe people have the right to bear arms. I do. My issue is what kind of arms they're bearing. I believe people should get to go hunt, but do you need a semi-automatic rifle to do that? I'll tell you personally, I'm afraid of guns personally myself, but
Why do you need a
I just think there
fucking
need to be stricter regulations. with it.
an
But,
ACR 6.8? Why do you need a fucking
majority of
AK-47?
people who die by gunshot are women in a domestic violence situation. So mass shootings definitely don't want automatic rifles. Against that, nobody needs them. But the most dangerous gun is the one in your home.
I do want to ask you a question. Do you think that women should have the right to bear arms to protect themselves against?
Yeah, I'm not against the right to own guns. The prompt was, do you think owning a gun is a human right?
But do you think?
And I don't agree with that.
In my perspective, I grew up in a gun-riddled neighborhood. I myself am a gun owner now because of the fact that I had to create some type of means of self-defense.
So why did you disagree?
I disagree because I would prefer not to be. I think it's not a human right.
That's
as much
right.
as almost
He's
a
doing it
necessity
out
for
of
a lot
necessity,
people.
but he
And
would
not
prefer
everyone.
a
There's lot of
society
neighborhoods
where
are
that
very
should
safe, but even in
happen
a safe
in the first
neighborhood,
place.
You can be robbed,
Obviously,
you can be
obviously,
killed. I've been
obviously.
stuck up several times with a gun to my face, and all I could think of is, man, if I die, it's going to be because I didn't have a weapon to help protect me.
Do you think that we should take away all guns from the entire world?
Yes.
Yes, of course, yes, of course, yes. Oh, fucking course, yes.
I think that would be such a better place.
My
Of
political
fucking
opinions
course, yes.
have hurt my relationships
crazy?
with friends and family.
Wait, sorry. My political opinions have hurt my relationships with friends and family. Okay, I want to see this. My political... there he goes. Young conservative. There you go, young.
During 2020, when America got really politically intense, and my teacher, she was very politically active, and she wanted us to speak our voices, and they found us conservative, and they said, okay, you're completely
No, it's
going
a
against what we
valid
believe.
question in
The
my
whole
opinion.
school's very liberal,
Because
and
the
I
politics
guess
of it all
they
is
just
very
kinda pushed
important
me away.
on where
Do you
you
feel like you
align
get
yourself with
bullied?
and who you associate
No.
with, right?
I'll just get looks. Some people come up and say you're a racist or you're
It depends on
xenophobic. They
how
would tell
far
me,
on the
do you
spectrum you
support
are
Trump? But
of
I just
the
brushed it off. I
conservatism
told them,
or the
hey,
liberalism
I
or
respect
whatever.
that you think like this. Please
If you're like a
respect me.
super Trump,
I think that
then
is,
obviously no, I'm not fucking with you.
whether or not we have
But if
the
you
same
vote for Trump,
ideas, I think
but
that
you're
that is
also
still
like-
an admirable
I
quality.
I know some Trump
despite
supporters.
getting looks or
I know some
feeling like
conservative
maybe you don't
supporters,
belong,
but they're
that
still
you're still
my friends. But also
you
I
have
know
your
some that
convictions,
are too
so I can
red state.
respect that you're convicted.
Yeah.
I think being liberal, we think of the right as being stuck in the sand. It's interesting to hear that liberals were not having his right opinion. I think that everyone
To
should
be
have their
honest,
Well, I think we're talking
Trump has done a
about
better
issues
job
that
than
aren't a matter
Biden.
of opinion, but a matter
I don't know,
of
I'm
your
Canadian. I
morality,
have
the
no idea
value of
what y'all
human
do down there.
lives. I've had to personally block a few people on Facebook, family members,
Oh, wow.
mostly men that are married to the women in my family. I'm like, hey, this conversation is really getting personal and hurtful, and if you carry on this way, I'm gonna have to block you.
Were they harassing you?
I feel very harassed, yeah, and belittled.
Were you ostracized, or was there someone that you...
Look at this guy smiling. Oh, you got belittled.
Myself,
Ooh.
I understand people have different beliefs, and I respect that. And I think it's good for everyone to share their beliefs. That's the way we progress. But I think when people become ignorant...
But I will say, if these guys really are teenagers, they look a little old to be teenagers, but if they are teenagers, they're carrying themselves very well. And they're very well spoken. Shout out to the
consistently
kids.
without
Shout out to
any
the
type of
youths.
evidence or any type of backup behind that. That's the point where I say, you know what? I probably shouldn't be friends with you because you may smile in my
16?
face,
Okay,
but
okay.
behind my back, you
Shout out to
have
the
a
youth.
different sentiment.
They're carrying themselves very well on this.
I haven't
on
lost
this,
any
on this
relationship
program.
because me and my friends don't really dive into politics. We kind of just play video games and talk about comics together. I think if you lose
I
a
am
relationship
old.
over politics, that's kind of sad.
Unfortunately, it's a part of growing up.
Yeah, for sure.
Hopefully you won't lose any friends, but usually as you get older, you start to see those divides a little clearer.
I mean, you guys are
sometimes.
older than us. Was it like this going back 20 years ago?
politics has changed so much, and I think you
Yes.
touched on it, that now it's being associated, policy is being associated with ethics. I haven't lost any friendships or relationships because I won't allow that to happen. I believe that the majority of us, probably about 80%, are in the middle with
Yes,
varying
yeah,
degrees.
yeah, yeah,
And
she's
there are
Spanish,
those
yeah,
people who
okay,
are
okay.
very,
She's very
liberal,
level-headed. She's
very ultra liberal.
She's making a lot of
who
good
are
points
the
right now.
outliers.
She's
Well,
been
I
making
think
points
it's
this whole
subtle.
this
You
whole
have
program, to
somebody
be
that
honest.
you meet with on a regular basis.
She
you
said
talk with
nothing
them, you
wrong
have
so
a good
far.
time. If topics get brought up, and it's a oh, okay, you're one of those. They don't tell you that to your face, but it's kind of subtle.
And also, I think with the prevalence of social media, people's opinions are a lot more out there.
I never understood why anyone posted political opinions on social media. I think it's just annoying.
Well, I have.
Oh,
three
he's a
kids.
good kid.
They know more about politics than I did when I was voting age.
It's annoying, yeah.
I think it's very encouraging because they're going to be more informed when they are of voting age.
I mean, yeah, it makes life more divisive. I mean, there's more arguments and stuff, and more relationships.
He's a good lad.
Because politics is such a
This
big part
little
of life.
Spider-Man wannabe, he's a good lad.
Hi, my name is Scott. I am a liberal parent. I have many children. I have 4. My oldest daughter is extremely left-wing. My 2 middle daughters are roughly right in the middle there, and then Chase is conservative.
My name is Chase.
Oh, that's
I'm
his
19
son.
years old, and I'm on the conservative
That's
team.
his son.
My dad's Scott. We talk about politics,
Hey,
mostly
yo.
Gun rights and the government in the economy. We
They get-
disagree,
they-
but we
they get
like
the
hearing each
dad.
other's side.
The son.
Feminist movement is overrated.
That's funny actually, because the dad is liberal. That's funny how that works like that. That's a twist.
The reason I sat down is because feminism,
Wait, what was the
as
prompt?
we
Feminism
know it in
is
social
overrated.
media and the marches,
The
is
feminine
generally
movement. Feminist movement.
run by white women, and we don't have a lot of intersectionality. Margaret Sanger?
Margaret Sanger,
Yeah,
yes.
and
She's spitting.
Susan B. Anthony. you
White
know,
women
total
are some of the
racist.
most annoying
women
people in the
that
world.
Headed
She's
up
spitting.
the suffragette movement.
Let's just get
it
let's just get
not
rid of all white
inclusive.
people.
Of course, yes.
And they wanted rights for white women.
What's up, B-boy?
And that thread has followed us to be very exclusionary to black women, disabled women,
It's okay,
women
Nick,
of
you're
color,
spicy white.
indigenous women.
I'm good,
I
bro.
don't think that feminism in America is based off racism. The reason why there's more white feminists is because there's a higher white population in America. So generally, there's going to be more white feminists because of that.
I think that definitely in the beginning of feminism, feminists wanted votes for women, that women would be allowed to work, would be allowed to go to universities and such. I definitely agree with that, but I think that feminism has gone too far into saying my body, my choice, and saying that women are not all equal, saying that women are being suppressed by white men.
We're all being suppressed by white men. Open your eyes. Open your third eye. We're all being suppressed by white men.
No, we got a long way to go.
Watch some
There's just not
TLC?
enough done.
In America or just in the world in general?
I watched a lot of
America,
TLC. Remember
for
when I
sure.
used to?
The world in
remember Pooh,
general
when I
is a heck
did
of a lot worse than America.
I agree with
the
I
cheapest
think
cheapskate
that
or whatever
women
the
should
fuck
be
it
able
was
to
called
do
or whatever.
everything that men can, but we also have to protect ourselves. So
They
if
did
you
the
want to
Jubilee
be
Day, I
a
think.
stay-at-home mom and do one of the hardest
I like-
jobs on the
I like some
planet,
more of
you
these,
absolutely should be able to do that. But you should also
serious
discuss with your partner and
topics.
put in things into place so that you're protected if you choose to do that. Some women aren't
That's
doing
facts,
that,
Marcy.
like life insurance and things like that. I think part of
No,
feminism
that shit
is
was
being
funny.
able to
I stayed up for
take care
8
of
hours
yourself.
watching YouTube videos.
Capitalism is failing our society.
Capitalism is failing our society. I don't know what to say about this, to be honest. I'm gonna sit back and watch.
This system that just values production, consumerism until you die doesn't work for anybody but a very, very, very small percentage of billionaires. And it's all baloney. The system is rigged.
They spelled
to
baloney
keep
the American
workers
way, by the
working,
way.
And,
That's not how you
and the
spell
richest
baloney
keep
in the
getting
rest of the
richer.
world.
Yeah, I think there could be some good in capitalism, which is like the innovation part.
Yeah,
of it.
Bologna.
But in
Bologna.
general, capitalism definitely sucks.
Yo, you
from the
Americans
core.
are dumb
There's
as
a lot
fuck.
of industries that
You
definitely
guys spell
shouldn't have
night,
any
N-I-T-E.
capitalism involved at all.
You
The
guys are
medical
so
field,
fucking
it's unjust
stupid.
That certain people.
You know, I was
get
watching.
other people just because they're
I don't
more
care about this
financially
topic. That's what I'm
well-off.
talking
Who are
about. I
they
was
to
watching
determine
football
the
today
value of life?
at work.
The healthcare system.
They took me out to
creates
some chicken
such
spot.
profit, and that profit is created.
Football
off
is the
misery of
most
others,
himbo,
of the illness of
stupid
others,
sport I've ever watched in my
including
life.
the prison system.
I watched
where you have jails that are
the
privately
idiot
owned,
Bills
because
versus
at
the
that point,
dumbass
what you have is a
Lions or
hotel,
whatever the fuck
and
they
you
are.
want to fill up the hotel.
All these
Why would
guys
there be
do is
business
throw a
that
ball and then
profits
tackle
off
each other.
crime? That doesn't
What
make
kind
any
of
sense.
stupid
If you
shit
put
is like?
profit ahead
Obviously,
of
I'm
people,
simplifying
people are
it.
going to
Obviously,
suffer, obviously.
but
So you said
America is just so
like only the billionaires.
America is just
succeed
so
in capitalism.
it's so
And
funny.
I gotta disagree with that because I'm the CEO of my own company.
America is
A couple
just so
months ago, I
funny.
started a jewelry company.
You guys
and
celebrate
I'm not a
holidays like
billionaire,
crazy
but it's
hard.
been relatively
Like your Black
successful
Friday
enough
is damn near
that
our
I can,
national
like, make
treasure.
rent
It's just a
and
shopping
go through
day.
college a bit. So I think there's people
You
like
guys
me
are funny
who
as
own
hell.
small business who capitalism really benefits.
If capitalism isn't the solution, then what is the
You can
solution?
say that about any sport.
Do you want
I
to
think
hear
the
it?
thing about football is that they're
Socialism.
tackling each other. I
Probably
think that's what
Democrats
sets it
I mean,
off
you
in my
talk about
brain.
how
Is that they're
capitalism hurts the middle
tackling
class, but
each
the
other.
reality of democratic
That's just a
socialism is
big,
pride.
it's a
The middle
big
class are gonna be
himbo
paying way
sport
more
for big,
taxes,
strong
not just the
men to
rich.
just,
See, the rich
just
don't pay
hit
taxes
each other.
because they don't work.
You know what
they
I
make
mean?
money off
Because in
assets.
basketball, there's finesse.
The middle class, they work.
In soccer,
and
there's
because
finesse.
they're working, they're going to pay more taxes.
There's no finesse.
Under a proposal
Whoever
like
finessed
Bernie
anyone in the
Sanders
NFL.
or, I don't know, AOC or
Okay, I'm
Ilhan
ignorant,
Omar.
obviously.
I personally am okay with paying higher taxes. I
Obviously,
would
I'm
love
ignorant.
people
Okay.
who make
Don't
billions
take
of
me
dollars
seriously.
pay their fair share of taxes. But increase
Yeah, we get Boxing Day.
taxes for a better situation.
We get Boxing Day, but it's not the same as
people
Black.
overall,
Stop it,
that
niggas.
is
Stop.
exactly what I stand
Boxing
for.
Day is not the same
I'm
as
not
Black
sure
Friday.
that,
You guys have Black Friday
socialism
deals
is the answer.
since
Yugoslavia
September.
before World War II
Stop.
did okay,
And you guys
but they
love
didn't do all
Christmas.
that great, and they were taken over quite
Every
quickly.
holiday,
What I'm
Americans
thinking
just
is capitalism, although is not
It's
the
a very
best
capitalistic,
solution,
society,
is one of the best solutions for a democratic society.
Football is actually super
Think about
strategic.
socialism, you think about wealth
Okay,
distribution.
you're gonna have to talk to
And
me
then
one
money
day in
becomes
BC
a
and
very
explain
big,
this football shit to
role
me.
too, because
Because
the ones that have less money
from an
become
outsider
envious
looking in,
of those
from
that have more
watching
money.
like this
And then
Bills
money
versus
is
the
it
Lions,
becomes a god because you don't
they
want
throw
anyone
the
else
ball
to have that money but
and
yourself.
then
And if you, for example, look
niggas
at
hug
the
each other.
Scandinavian countries,
throw the ball
have
and then they hug.
capitalistic market, but
and
they
then they
have
do a little
socialist
dancey
wealth
dance when
distribution.
they cross the line.
And that's why it works
That's
over
it.
there.
That's
And
all I saw.
I personally come from
No, I'm
Europe,
ignorant.
so
I'm
I
ignorant.
have
I'm being
seen
an
that.
asshole. I'm
So
ignorant.
you think that works?
I personally
I'm
don't think that works.
uneducated
I
and
think it
ignorant.
takes a lot of money from the rich
Don't mind
and
me.
from the middle class.
My name is Nathan. I'm 18 years old. I would like to ask the other side if they believe America
link
is
to-
the
oh,
greatest
shit.
country in the world.
No leak, no leak, no leak.
If they disagree with that, I want to know what country they believe is better than America. I do believe it's a blessing and it's a privilege to live in a country that gives you the liberty and freedom. And to
Okay,
express
I'll
who
watch
you
this.
wanna
I'll watch
be.
this.
The
5-minute clip.
American
Bet.
dream
I love George
is
Carlin
dead.
anyway, so I'll watch it. The American dream is dead? What the fuck is the American dream? What's the American dream, guys? You guys should know. What's the American dream?
I gotta say,
Oh, here it is. The American dream was coined by James Truslow Adams in 1931, saying that life should be better and richer and fuller for everyone, with opportunity for each according to ability or achievement, regardless of social class or circumstances. Is the American dream dead? No, I don't think so.
I disagree with the phrase American dream. An American dream for who? You know, the Native Americans we slaughtered, the enslaved people. I mean, this
America-
romantic idea
Let's
that
just
there's
keep it a
this
stack, guys.
dream
America is the
just
best country in the
basically
world.
marketing for capitalism.
Only because it's the most
it's
important
very
country in the world.
well-funded propaganda, and has it inspired good acts
It is the
and
best
good
country in the
people
world.
to
Let's
do
keep
good
it
things?
up. Beanskis and a
course,
half.
Of course, because
I hate
ultimately,
I don't
in
really
a
fuck
large
with a
sense,
lot of
humanity
stuff in the
is,
US,
is
but it's the
good.
best country in the world.
But this idea of the American dream, I think, is I think the fantasy
I
of
think
it
Canada
is
is
being
not
torn
big.
apart a
I
little
think
bit,
people
and I think that's actually
ignorant on Canada,
exciting because
it's not that good of a
it,
country.
it opens
The table is tilted, folks. The game is rigged. And nobody seems to notice. Nobody seems to care. Good, honest, hard-working people. White collar, blue collar, doesn't matter what color shirt you have on. Good, honest, hard-working
really
people
be doing
continue.
something next,
These people
bro.
of modest means
You really be talking
continue
about
to
that
elect
real.
these rich
And that's
cocksuckers
why-
who don't give a
Oh
fuck
my
about
God.
them.
Let me
They don't
stop
give
it.
a fuck about
Let me stop.
you. They don't give a fuck about you. They don't care about you at all. At all. At all.
That's why they killed everyone, in that island, bro.
And nobody seems to notice, nobody seems to care. That's what the owners count on, the fact that Americans will probably remain willfully ignorant of the big red, white, and blue dick that's being jammed up their assholes every day.
Willfully
Because
ignorant.
the owners of this country know the truth. It's called the American dream, because you have to be asleep to believe it.
Oh!
But say what you
Hold
want
on,
about
let's
American
take bars.
folks. Yeah.
Oh,
Look at
shit. Okay, that was a good clip. Wait, yo, that was a good clip. Okay. I fuck with that one. I fuck with that one a lot. That's a good clip, Nick. Black teens versus grandparents. What? Black teens versus grandparents. Trans versus conservative men. Ooh, that's 45 minutes. No, George Carlin is always on point. He never... Can scientists and religious leaders see eye to eye? Okay, this one's 12 minutes. I'll click it.
If we just take God out of it, might there not be something, right, that
Is that
your
a monk?
scientific beliefs can't explain?
It's not these damn companies. It's these damn people that own the damn companies. Yeah, rip George Carlin for real. He's such a talent, bro. The wittiest, the smartest men in the world are comedians, by the way. Because you gotta be smart to be coming up with this type of shit. He's just bald and Asian. I'm racist. I'm racist. He's Asian. He just happens to be bald. And my ass said monk. Am I stupid?
My name is Matt. I'm 41 years old. I'm a pastor.
I'm Gil Kay. I'm 40 years old. I am a minister of Buddhist church.
Okay, watch out. He's
I'm
a monk.
Andrew. I'm 42 and I'm a chemist.
Why he dressed like a Shinigami? Stop.
I'm
He's a
Jess,
monk.
I'm 36 and I'm a volcanologist.
I'm Don. I'm 64. I'm a paleontologist and geologist.
I'm Amy. I'm 53 and I'm a rabbi.
I believe this universe was created. Bro, like a being above,
This is
or
literally
like just
my
like
greatest
like
fear that
created?
I'd be all alone in this circle. I believe that this world was created. I've placed my faith in
by like a
a
being that
God
created.
that is infinitely creative in what He's made. He then deserves my worship and my affection.
Not gonna lie.
Seriously, last
Not
night
gonna
I was
lie.
talking to my wife.
Like okay. I just gotta comment on this guy's appearance for 1 sec. I'm fucking with that cardigan. I think I might just buy a cardigan. I think it's time for me to start dressing more maturely with that cardigan type shit. I'm not gonna lie, that cardigan looking nice, bro. That shit, this that dad vibe that I'm trying to go for. This that older dad vibe. I fuck with that cardigan. I don't fuck what he's saying. I don't even know what he's talking about right now. I'm just looking at the cardigan the whole time. I'm sorry. I'm gonna just buy a cardigan tomorrow.
Then deserves my worship and my affection. Seriously, last night I was talking to my wife. I was like, what if there's a question that I'm the only one that agrees to? She's like, just stay where you are. I was like, I don't know.
The big problem is that immediately you start talking about creator, and I have battled
You gonna get a
creationism
Ralph Lauren
most
one?
of
I'm
my
gonna get an
entire
H&M.
career as an evolutionary biologist and paleontologist.
Because they all look the same to me.
Brings in a whole category of things that violate my rules as a scientist as well. And when I step back from that, especially when I step back from where I started as a religious person when I was younger, I look at this and I say, you know, if anything, what we see now about the universe shows how poorly designed it is and how sloppy it is and how painful it is. And all these things which don't speak to a very benevolent creator, because if anything, it makes him look bad.
I don't believe in a supernatural God. I'm a Reconstructionist Jew. For me, I don't rely on a supernatural creator in order to remain astounded at the beauty of this world. It's sloppy. It's the world, right? It's the world. We're sloppy, the world is sloppy, but it's also incredibly magical and worthy of awe and respect. And That it's here is amazing, that we're here is amazing, and I want to live in relationship to that amazement.
I'm on call, by the way, I'm on call.
Answer moral questions.
I never look to science to go like, is murder right or wrong? I look to science to say how many murders were committed last week. You know, that's what I want to know. And then say, is there a trend? What is the cause of these murders? Blah, blah, blah. And then we use, we use different tools, I guess is the best way of putting it.
I shouldn't have clicked this one because obviously I'm very biased. I'm not religious at all.
People.
But I do kind of want to hear the perspective from the
I
religious
think
side.
they're innate in humans. All societies have had certain things they agree on, regardless of religious background and so on. We don't require a deity or any kind of religion to give us those things. And we come with them as part of our species. And for me, it's not so much that science can answer moral questions, but science certainly can guide us in a lot of ways, especially when moral questions in conflict with reality as we've now learned it.
There are things that my beliefs cannot explain.
There are things that my belief cannot explain. I'm pretty sure science explains everything.
I've got serious gaps in my faith that require a supernatural answer. I mean, I can't understand and fathom the complexities of the universe all on my own. I'm a Christian. At a church service, someone had a hurt shoulder, and they said, my shoulder really hurts, so you pray for my shoulder to get better. I'll be honest with you, I have about 5% faith that that's going to work out. But I prayed for him, I put my hand on his shoulder, and I said, you know, I want this shoulder to get healed in Jesus' name. And I walked away thinking, oh no, another disappointed person who didn't get healed today. Well, the next morning that person called me and said, you wouldn't believe it, my shoulder feels 100% better. I still don't have a good answer to that, but I just know every time I get an answer or an opportunity to exercise my faith in a supernatural way, I want to take that opportunity because I just don't know what the answer might be. It could be something terrific.
I totally agree with you.
I like that. I like that optimism. I think that's very positive.
But in my hometown,
I like that
we
outlook,
have
to be
this
honest.
kind of service to
I don't necessarily
sort of
agree with it, but I
console
like
spirits
his
in the
positive
mind.
outlook on that
When we
situation.
chant, we're like,
Because he himself said he's not sure it's gonna happen. 5% chance it's gonna work or whatever. He's not saying with 100% certainty Jesus is gonna heal you. He's saying Jesus might.
Logically, and that's
Which is a bit naive in my honest opinion, but I like that positivity.
Science is all about understanding what we can understand, and in science you're pretty much not allowed to even consider the supernatural because it's beyond testable hypothesis. It's beyond anything that you can evaluate in any what we might call an objective manner. We are comfortable with the idea that we do not know.
You know what I like about religion over science sometimes though is that science is just so logical. Everything has to have an answer. And if it doesn't exist, like if there's no physical answer or anything that you can see, like I think religion is nice because like you don't have to do all that work. You can just like pray it works. You know what I mean? It's a lot less load on your back. You know what I mean? In science, you always gotta back up your statements and you gotta backtrack. And with religion, you can just be like, you know, God did. You know what I mean? God did, and that's why it's an answer that could be acceptable, other than all that other shit. That's what I like about religion is that, and that's why I'll never hate on people that are religious is that there could be a real explanation, or you can, or you can just put your faith in another guy and he explained it for you guys.
Know something, and that someday we might find the answer.
That's what I like about religion.
There's a lot out there that
I
can't explain, but it has absolutely nothing to do with my beliefs. I was raised Catholic, and I'm just as confused.
Yeah, not everything has to have an answer. Sometimes you can just say, sometimes you can just say God did, and that's it. And I think that's okay.
I don't need to have a belief about it. I don't even need to go beyond that and just.
I remember when I prayed to God that I can get the new Spider-Man game when the Spider-Man PS2 game came out, the movie game, and the next day my mom took me to the Toys R Us and we got the Spider-Man game. I thought it was God, but coincidentally on that same day she got a bonus at work.
Yes.
So obviously there's a real explanation for it.
Maybe there's something beyond scientific
but
theory
to
and
me,
proof that
God
we don't even know
did.
yet. And I'm not saying God.
So you know what I mean?
Just take God out of it. Might there not be something right that your scientific beliefs
and
can't
it's always nice to
But
think about having
also,
someone that
in my
looks after you.
philosophy, I don't see any point in putting any kind of supernatural label on it
Right,
as an explanation. It's just not solving the problem.
I believe in life.
Yeah, from person to person. I believe in life after death. Okay, I'm not religious, but I do hope there's life after death.
You're with me because I don't.
And I don't know.
I mean, I just see.
I believe there will be.
Our lives that
I hope there will
extends
be.
beyond the here and now. That there is.
I hope there
eternity
is a life after
that
death.
God wants to
Obviously,
have
that doesn't
with
make
us.
sense.
His love for us is so deep that it desires to have a continued relationship with us, as far as time goes on.
Because I later
Yes,
on,
that's what it is,
I
Nick.
go down to the beach and I
Scientists
see the
always have
waves
this
in the
definitive
ocean.
answer,
At the
but
beach,
people don't care
they-
about
they
how they
come
arrived at that
ashore
answer
and they leave.
necessarily. They're
We
religious
compare
people.
that to
Hi,
life.
Holo.
We take different
They just
shapes and
want the
different
answer.
forms,
You know, they don't care about
and
the steps in
length of
between.
the wave, we have no idea. You show up in different
So it's easy to
locations,
say,
but you have no
God
control.
did this for me,
The
than
idea
all the
that
circumstances that led to that
momentary
situation that
shape
happened.
we have this life,
All these
trying
little
to preserve
in-betweens.
it, you know, and then we're kind of missing the whole point.
I'm not religious,
that
but I
we
hope.
are
I think that makes
actually
you agnostic,
evacuating
right?
ocean.
In my limited capacity as a
I think
individual
I'm a
human,
bit
like in this
agnostic
form, in this
myself.
shape,
I wouldn't call
have
myself
no
a straight up
idea. How could I
atheist
possibly have any
because
idea about what that being
I have a little bit
is
of.
gonna mean or
You mean you
be,
never know.
and,
You never.
so I know that
I
will continue.
I'm
to be
strongly on
part
the
of
other side,
universe,
probably like
but not
97%
as
sure that there's no God.
me, not as
At least for me.
this.
But I want to believe that there's something out
I
there.
would
And
agree
if
with
other
that. I mean,
and
I
if
see
other
no
people want
evidence
to
or
believe that
anything
there's something
I
out
can
there,
observe
then
or
who am I to
anything
stop
that
them from believing
goes
that?
on
And who
that is
knows? Because
more
maybe
than
there
this
is.
wishful thinking that humans
Who
in some
knows?
form are going to exist in some afterlife where they're recognizable and their identities carry on.
You
When
know
I
what I
was
mean?
a kid, I asked
You
my
just
dad,
don't know.
if
You
our
can say
pets
you
would
don't
be
know,
waiting for us in heaven
and you can say
when we
no.
died, and my
You
dad
just
said
really
no,
don't
and
know.
I was shocked.
There's so many
and
things
I
we
was
don't
like,
know.
Why would there not
There's so
be
many things
pets
on
in
Earth
heaven?
right
and my
now
dad's like, well, there are animals.
that
I'm
science
like,
cannot
why not my
explain.
animals? And he's like, well, they're just like a
You know what I
generic
mean?
cat and a generic
There's so
dog.
many
And I went,
unknowns in this
wait,
world.
what? And so at
That
that point, that's when I
science
started to
truthfully
question,
can't
like, wait a
explain.
minute, what happens next? And yeah, I'm kind of
And yeah, and it
you
gives
know,
a sense
with lot
of
you guys here,
comfort
just saying that, look, you
and a
know,
sense
it
of
wouldn't it be great if we could go on and on
security
and on, but I
for
think
people to
because we
believe
don't
in
see
a
any evidence
God,
for it, I
a
have to
higher
be in the
being
camp
that's
of,
looking after
well,
people,
we get this one shot, make the
or
most of it,
providing
do the best you
miracles, you
can,
know.
and then when it's done,
Whatever help you
don't have any regrets.
sleep at night.
You know, live with doing as much as you
You
could
believe
that
in
is
an
good,
ultra
so
being
that
in
you
heaven,
will live
but
on
I
in the
don't
memories
think
of
the ultra
those
being is
who,
going to grant you things
stay
in life.
behind.
You think he's just he's a watcher, he's an observer, he's
What
a
crushing
third party
thing
that
to hear
doesn't
as a
interfere with
child.
our lives.
You know, all good dogs go to heaven.
That's what the movie said.
It's what
I think so
must
too,
be
Nick.
true.
I think he was trying to
I think there's some type of
yeah,
I don't know.
yeah.
Actually, I don't know
Like
if there's a
some
higher being,
days,
to be honest.
I'm like totally zen. I'm totally like it's totally there. Like it's okay. It's all.
I don't
and I
believe.
will just not exist. I'm
I don't
usually
know.
not as afraid of
I don't know.
death as I am of dying. Like I'm afraid of dying because I've seen some really bad dying. I'm very afraid of pain and of you know the process of dying. But
I lost both my parents from cancer, so I witnessed both process. My mom died.
Just the person that judges the
over,
person
30
how good
years
you are?
ago, and
But like,
it was
usually
it
the
was
definition of
painful
good
to witness
is
that
how you're
my mom
abiding
becomes
to the rules and
My
the
dad,
policies and all the
through
scriptures
same
within the
process.
Bible, right?
But then
or
he
whatever
was once writing a letter
book or whatever you're reading.
just really coincides.
There
with
isn't
religious
real like
teachings that
morality and
I'm having
ethics.
a wonderful day. And I'm
I
really
believe.
grateful for everybody who support us. We have a
Good
saying
and
that
bad is just
every
what's written
day
down in these books,
is,
but like
as you say, the
it's
greatest
hard
day.
to
I can see that
judge.
intellectually. I can understand
Obviously,
it
we know
intellectually, but I just
we
wasn't
know
sure if
intrinsically
I
what's good and bad.
I could
You know what I
feel
mean?
if I
But
would
what
be
if I
able to say
masturbated the other
something
day?
like that.
What if you know masturbation's not is a sin? You know what I mean? Like there's. It brainwashes people.
Man, I'm such a skeptic, and that includes questioning my own.
I don't know if
beliefs.
that's the point of.
Especially
I don't
if
think that's
form
the
a
point of religion.
hypothesis and I'm
I don't know.
working on
I don't know
an
all
experiment.
religions, obviously.
I mean, you always.
I don't think
kinda
that's the
want
point
to
of
go
religion,
a
though.
certain way, and you have to do your best.
I think religion just gives you something to believe in.
A lot of
To be
times
honest,
doing
I don't think
research
it's meant to brainwash.
One of the things I tell students, because I work with students.
Well,
a
at
lot
least
with
I don't
my
think that's
nonprofit
its goal. Maybe it maybe it happens to
And I tell
be
them,
that way,
you know,
but I
as
don't
they're
think that's the
journeying
goal
into becoming
of
scientists, and they
religion.
come from all sorts of different
It gives you a
backgrounds.
sense of
I just say, look,
security,
don't ever work with anyone who's afraid to
comfortability,
admit that they don't
you
know
know,
something
relief
or
in
that
life,
they're wrong.
less anxiety,
Those
I
are
guess.
really important qualities, whether
Because
it's
you're
in
not
science or
overthinking
any
about all these
aspect of
things
life.
because
The
God's
whole
thinking
fun
for
of
you.
being a scientist
Pretty
is
much.
trying
Jesus
to
take the
break
wheel,
things.
pretty much.
And I actually wanted to start a journal of scientific mistakes so that we could share with each other what went wrong, because
Super
too
religious
often we
people
only
live and
talk
die
about
by
the
the written
successes.
text.
And I think it's very valuable to also know what
But is that
failure
brainwashing?
is and what it teaches us.
Is that
And
brainwashing?
questioning is such a
Live
healthy
and
thing.
die
I always think it's a
by
healthy thing. So whenever I see
written
younger
text.
monastics or priests, like, yeah, go ahead and question me. or
That's
question
assuming
what you
that
do,
they weren't like that
and then
originally.
be okay.
They were
and you
born
need to
and raised with
understand-
these texts.
Understand
You know?
intellectually,
There,
but at
I
the
can't
same
speak
time,
on religion
I
because
want you to understand
I was
there
never
are
brought up
things
with it
that's
really.
beyond
But if
this
I was
intellectual
brought up, have a good night, Pooh.
So that's
I'm talking over this whole fucking video.
unrecognizable
I don't even know if you can
or
hear me over this
understand
video,
that
to be
comes
honest.
only through
But
Nice meeting you.
I don't know if that's the point of religion, is to brainwash. Because in my opinion, brainwashing is changing who you are. You know, you're this way, and then you change to that way. But usually with religion, you're brought up with it from a young age, and they're brought up from a young age, and it's just like a part of your life. It's never not been a part of your life. You've never not had a religious household. You've never not. It's just who you are, pretty much. It's just a different part of your DNA at this point. Maybe it'd be brainwashing if you're 16, 17, never been religious, and then all of a sudden you convert. Actually, it would even be. I don't know. I don't know what brainwashing is, to be honest. For my friend in high school, it seemed like he wanted to do different things, and his parents kind of guilted him out of it. That's just I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that's brainwashing. I think that's a clash of beliefs. You know, like the dude that's a liberal and the other dude that's a conservative. The dad and the son. It's just a clash of. It's not brainwashing. It's just a clash of beliefs, pretty much. Because you're not gonna always follow everything your parents say, especially when it comes to the Bible and shit, right? Or whatever scriptures you're reading. Because some things you don't agree with. You don't have to agree with everything. I don't think with religion, you don't have to agree with everything, by the way. You don't have to. I don't know how it works, but I don't think you have to agree with everything, and I don't think you have to abide by everything. But there are some things that you do, and you believe in. Should you have sex before marriage? I feel like this is a dumb conversation, but maybe I'll change my opinion.
I've heard people
Yeah, there's so many. Yeah, it's so deep. It's too hard to get into that topic.
say, well, we only had anal sex, so I'm still a virgin.
You only had anal sex? That shit more serious than vaginal insertion. The fuck? that shit raw. That shit crazy. Yeah, even Christians don't agree with Christian. Yeah, facts.
I'm Jessica Graham, and I'm a sexual and spiritual activist, an author, a sex and intimacy guide for couples and individuals, and a meditation teacher.
I'm Lance. I'm a bartender by night, and I work in the entertainment industry by day.
I'm Katie. I worked in TV and film up until 2 years ago. I've been living the mom and married life.
I'm Grace. I'm 25 years old, and I'm a nanny in the day and then a bartender at night.
I'm Christina.
Wow, these guys be
I'm
working mad
34,
jobs.
And I'm an actor and also a youth leader in ministry.
Bro, did you notice that every one of these people had like 2 jobs, a day and a night job? What the crap? I got 1 job.
I am 23 years old. I work in social media, so like in marketing.
Bro, I'm an entertainer by day, bartender by night. That's a grind life.
Outside of marriage.
I have not had sex outside of marriage. Okay.
That is a true statement.
Yeah. And to clarify, like, I have not had sex in general, so I feel like that went with the prompt. Cool, just making sure. You know, I grew up in the church, and so I was a typical, like, not gonna have sex, not gonna do A, B through Z. I just got out of a 2.5-year relationship. Coming out of it, I'm so much more empathetic to how absolutely tough that is on a day-to-day.
Yeah, I did not have sex prior to getting married almost 3 years ago. It made me test if this wasn't a serious relationship going somewhere, then I could just focus on kind of my other things.
Brandon, I'm curious, the way in which you engaged with your sexuality in your 2.5-year relationship, were there things that you could do? Were there certain things you couldn't do? And is having an orgasm with somebody considered not
Was
being
she
abstinent?
kinky or was
First
she
of
asking
all,
real
to
questions?
act like we didn't do anything, I'd be lying to you. And to act like I'm this purified angel, like that's just like, this white sheet is just a lie. And that's just being upfront too. So I want to preface with that.
And is that
so
okay?
I never want to minimize sin and how I view that. I never want to run away from that. Sin is a very heavy thing. And unfortunately for a lot of things, we would be fighting. And maybe like doing physical things was easier to either numb that or to make that fight end. You know, like I'm so mad at you right now, I don't want to be mad, boom, something happens physically, right? And then we're like, oh, I guess we're cool now. And the whole orgasm sex thing, right? Like that's a thing I still wrestle with. I don't know. I don't have a black and white answer for you. I still dance in the gray area there. But I know that in my relationship, it was used sometimes as a beautiful thing, where like it was a natural thing of love and passion and just being attracted to each other. But then there was also times where it wasn't.
A lot of things we can say sex is. Like I've heard people say, well, we only had anal sex, so I'm still a virgin. And to me, that's like, whoa, like I had a lot of regular, like just regular intercourse, you know, before I did that. So, that's me.
Like, you're more not a virgin.
This is not for me. This is not for us, boys. We're all virgins here. This is not for us. What are we watching?
I have had sex outside of marriage in a committed relationship. Did I
This is
want
not
to
for
wait?
us.
Absolutely. But love is a powerful thing, and when love comes in, it blinds a lot. I wanted to say, hey, let's just take this time, and if we're gonna get married, let's just wait. We weren't on the same page when it came to that. So when that relationship ended, I made a vow to God and myself to wait. So I do consider myself a born-again virgin, and I'll enjoy sex in marriage like 10 times more than I did
If you
outside of
think
it.
you really love a girl, beat your
my
dick.
whole life, oh, sex before marriage is a sin. But then, murdering someone is always a sin, right? But why is sex before marriage a sin,
the
but
feeling
after
is
marriage
hit
it's
the
not a sin
road.
anymore? It's just because you have a piece of paper saying, oh, we're married, now we can have sex.
That's facts.
I agree with you. We make a big deal about it being between God, and that's the whole reason that you're abstaining. So why does this people or some kind of consensus
That's
being
facts,
involved
Noah.
like
That's
make it valid now? They don't bring validity. Like it still is between you and another person.
Sometimes you gotta beat the demons out your dick
My
to really
first time
think straight.
was a positive experience.
My first time was a positive experience. I don't know. The fuck? How am I supposed to know that?
My first time was with my first serious girlfriend towards the end of high school. Disorganized and messy and silly at times, but I look back on it really fondly, and we were losing our virginities together, which I think was a really nice thing to share.
I lost my virginity in like one of my first long-term relationships also. We were both virgins, which is good because like neither of us knew what we were really doing. So it was awkward, but it was positive. I mean, I always went into it thinking, oh, the first time I have sex, it's gonna hurt, it's gonna be so bad, my heart's gonna feel so sad that I'm not married and stuff, but I felt none of that. I was like, this is great.
Yeah, my first time was hilarious. I was almost 28 years old and I'm still a virgin on our wedding night. So the honeymoon, it got a lot better.
Argument used so much against abstinence and celibacy is that how do you know what you're doing? How do you, you're not going to be trained. I think
I'm
there's a
so
cool part of
uninterested
learning
in
that
this
process
topic,
with
to
each
be
other and
honest.
learning that with one person.
I'm gonna let
And
it play, but I'm
that's
actually a
just
little
something that
uninterested in this one.
helps you appreciate and love that person more.
Because I don't give a
My
shit.
first time having
Sex, who cares? It's just
was
sex.
not a negative experience.
I have
It
such
wasn't
a-
necessarily a positive experience. I was 14, and I just decided I had to
I have
do
such
it.
a, like,
I had sex in the back of
an apathetic
hot
look
rod
on sex. If
car
you
with a
like, I don't
guy
care
who was
about
just
sex. I
about
don't.
18.
I care,
The way
but I
in
don't
which it
care.
was
You know what I
positive
mean? Like, I
now,
don't give a
when I look
fuck
back on
if
it,
these niggas
is
is
that I
fucking
started
or not.
young and I had a lot of
What is it-
colorful
what does shit got to do with me,
experiences,
bro?
Some of them positive, some of them negative.
Yeah, like,
But
what does it matter, bro? If they're having sex within a marriage or not? Like, this is like. Okay, flat earthers versus I'm. Can sex workers and pastors find middle ground? Well, I want to hear what the pastor has to say.
Your penis.
Israel and Palestine? Oh, okay. I didn't see that. Where's Palestine? Death penalty and anti-death penalty. Oh, actually, I want to watch this one. Okay, but I'll do Israel's.
There's a woman who.
Because I have really strong opinions on the death penalty. Pro-drugs versus anti-drugs. I'll just type it in. Is that how you spell Israel? Israel? Okay.
Because A, it's not your land. B, you mentioned Jerusalem.
You can't tell me that. Please, don't say that.
I will admit, before watching this, I'm a little ignorant on the whole situation. I know some things.
When it comes to the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, I think I'm mostly emotionally sad.
I know like the big conflict, but I don't know like
I think it's
the
not
nitty gritty.
fair that, you know, a country that is peaceful be in a situation where we have to be threatened.
Being an Arab girl living inside of the Israeli state, it's pretty hard for me to find exactly who I am.
We're the Palestinians. We still live under occupation, so we have no power.
Yeah, free Palestine.
I believe that every person, Jew, Christian, Muslim, should be full equal citizens under Israeli sovereignty.
We need just to end this conflict between us because we don't need the other generations to live the life that we live it.
If we continue to do what we did until now, it's probably going to stay, and we need to do something else.
My name's Hannah Ziad. I'm 24 years old, and I'm an Arabian YouTuber.
My name is Dorit Sadon. I'm 25 years old, and I'm a Jewish Israeli Zionist.
My name is Bara Abdo. I'm from Nablus, 25 years old, studied public relations and communication.
Do I look young for my age? All these guys are younger than me, and they look kind of old.
Called Givat Ze'ev, right outside of Jerusalem.
Like, not to say that they look old, but maybe I'm the one that looks young.
I'm 24 years old and from Jerusalem.
My name is Ron Bar Shafat. I'm 34 years old, and I work as a deputy director of a think tank that deals with law and economics.
These are all like they're all younger than me, but maybe I just don't know what people look like.
The first statement is, someone I know has died because of this conflict.
Okay. My father was murdered by 2 IDF soldiers. It hit us hard, especially for my family. We're only girls. And inside of the Arabic nation, that's really hard.
My friend, when I was 10 years old, is where the sniper shot at her on her head. So that was really hard for us.
No, I grew up during the second Intifada. I carry a list with me of all my friends who were murdered in terror attacks. So I have a list of 27 people that were actually very close to me. In Israel, we have a Memorials Day, so I have always a dilemma to which grave to go to.
On 16th of January 2007, an Israeli soldier shot and killed my sister Abir. She was 10 years old, from the first school, and I was 13. We were 6 kids in the house. After that, we became 2 sisters and 3 brothers.
All of the people that I know have lost someone to the war in some way.
Oh my goodness.
And I think like
how long has this conflict been going on for? Years, right?
Such a universal
years and years and years and years, right?
emotion. And like I want to hug all of you.
I serve in the IDF. I still serve in the Army Reserves, combat. I was very combat in the second Intifada, and I feel your grief, and I understand it, but I have to say that I never got an order to shoot someone. The order was only to shoot if someone is a threat to your life or a threat to someone else's lives.
I also served in the IDF, and they really do just teach us to defend ourselves. If we're not defending ourselves and we do kill someone, we go to jail.
That's not true.
But I wanna
That's not true.
I can tell you something. The soldier that killed my sister, he didn't spend one day in jail.
Neither did my father. Both of them that murdered him did not stay one day in jail.
I believe a two-state solution is possible.
Oh shit. Oh. Now this one's a very
I think the Palestinians
deep
they will not stop
subject.
saying that we want a country. So in the end, if we got to the point that we have our state and they have their state, so no problem.
It's going to be better for us to live, all of us, together, which is no state like Palestinian, no state like Israeli, only together and having peace together. Like there is no walls and there is no checkpoints, which has happened right now.
I'm with you. One state under Israel's sovereignty and everyone's full equal citizen. All right? Okay, but under Israeli sovereignty, because right now, why is that a problem?
Why should it be on one? Why should one religion control it? Why
It's
can't
not
the
a
three?
religion, it's a nationality. It's my nationality.
So if we said one state with the Palestinian they control it, you can live under it?
No, because
so
because A, it's not your land. B, you mentioned Jerusalem.
you can't tell me that, please. Don't say that.
I'm saying 100%. Palestine used to meant.
I can ask you one question. Yes. Please answer it. Your grandfather, you know where he is?
Yes.
Where he is?
To give me how many graves you want me to count?
7 before.
7 before, I know, yes.
Where?
7 before is in Hungary.
In Hungary. 9 before, he's in Palestine. Don't tell me it's not your land.
I'm saying it's not your land.
It's our land. And it will still and will be.
Like, how do you determine this is our land and it's not their land based on what?
History, international law, interest, solidarity.
Yeah.
Yes. How about empathy?
It's kind of like the
I have empathy. I'm just not willing to give up on my identity. And
So
what I believe
she's
is
an
right.
Israeli that's for the Palestine.
I'm afraid of the other side.
When I say that I'm afraid, what I basically mean is I'm afraid of going into Gaza because I know that if I will go into Gaza, I might get shot, someone might kill me.
I think I hesitated a little bit because I don't think I'm afraid of the people on the other side. I think I'm afraid of the gap and sort of almost equally afraid of, like, you know, that side taking all of the responsibility for what is happening, or this side taking all of the responsibility for what is happening, which is obviously not working.
Well, that's fair enough. I don't believe that all Palestinians are terrorists because that doesn't make sense. But I do believe that who is in charge, they're leading the Palestinians to, you know, hating us and in a way that, you know, it is really unfair.
Against what
is
you
really
said.
unfair. I'll stop.
They're
I'll
not
stop,
the Islam.
I'll stop.
Because Islam didn't say killing people or having blood. Don't belong that
But
to
what
the
about
Islam.
the radical Muslims? The radical Muslims that come and do these things, what do you have to say about
They're not
them?
part of us. We never
I
accept
think
them
she
as
just doesn't
Muslims
understand
because they're teaching
the
hate.
other side
And
as
in
much.
a way, I accepted what you just said about there's a big problem with our governments. They don't know how to talk to each other. And in my idea, I really think the people are the ones that should be talking to each other.
I agree, and I have to say I also don't think there's an issue with Muslims, but I disagree
Yeah,
with you.
that is
It's
pretty
about
much like
land.
saying
There were
that, like
several peace talks. They were offered 97% of the land. 98 would have done it. I disagree.
But after deciding with the land, they came and they built more settlements.
What's wrong with Jews living in Judea?
That's not the problem. The problem is that we actually talked about this land being for these people, and in the end, when we see Israelis coming in and actually building houses, that's showing us you guys don't want peace.
I trust my sources of information on the conflict.
Very smart.
I serve in the
Very
IDF, so
smart
first
for the
of all, I
people
trust
standing
myself
still.
And my
You can't trust
officers.
shit, bro.
I do think that a lot of the information I'm getting is not accurate, which is why I try to compare it with different
It's very hard to
sources,
get some
and I also try to see
real
it from people, what they think, what they feel.
Yeah, both sides have so much
I don't trust
misinformation.
everything I see on the news, that's for sure. I do believe, again, there are two sides to every single story.
Yo,
But I
she
do
kind of
see
looks like
things
Sarah
that are
Michelle
happening.
Gellar.
For instance,
I can't.
you know,
Sorry,
things
but
like
I just can't
the rockets
stop
that are
seeing it.
striking or the stabs that are
I think it's the
happening.
eyes and the
Those
nose.
things I do trust because I can see that they're happening and they're just unfair.
Like I see the narrative being written as like I watch TV. I know how important and how powerful language is and how it can create reality. And like I can see it. I'm like, this is really dangerous. Like on both sides, it's really dangerous.
Overseas media that I see, they're always against Israel for things that are not necessarily
That's
our
her sister for
fault.
real, then.
I find it very funny because we look at it as and start saying that they're really with Israel, which is funny. I find it kind of funny. But no, I seriously do find the information that we're getting has more as an agenda to it from both sides.
I don't believe in social media. Like from the Israeli side, gonna support Israel, and from the Palestinian side, gonna support Palestinians. People gonna be very confused, and I'm gonna be very confused about the reality.
So to say, but the question was the sources, so it doesn't have to be just social media and reports like this. Like I also trust the reports that the Israeli security forces publish.
But they are
Don't
gonna
trust
write
Why
every-
would you?
in their
That's like
ideas,
propaganda, pretty
not
much. You
about
could.
the reality and the
I feel like
situation,
that's
but
like
their
so much
ideas, how
propaganda
do they
going on.
see this situation. It's not really what happened.
I want political leaders on my side to make compromises for peace.
For sure. Oh
It
yeah, those
continues
two
to do
are
what we did
crazy
until now.
Israels.
It's
Yeah.
going to continue as it was now.
I like her. I like her.
don't
I
see it getting
I like
better. Our
this woman with the
leaders
glasses
should
because she even
have
challenged
our lives
her Israel.
and the best for us in their minds.
You know,
and
here
so it's not
she challenged him
compromising.
before
Like peace is
on the
never
land and how you can
compromising.
choose which
The
one
Palestinian
is
politician, they in the end they
how you decide whose
for
land it is.
themselves and for their people, but they have no power because the power it's not in their hands, it's in the other side.
I would like for us to compromise only if you will be able to compromise.
Watch
it doesn't
out,
make
sea
sense that
cleaner.
every time that we have a war, it's always started by your side. The
That's
other night, I
cap.
heard about,
She
you
is
know,
like
over 1,000
she's
800
indoctrinated.
acres of
She's
crops
indoctrinated right
being
now.
burnt by, you know,
This is
Hamas, who have
literally-
been sending it over to Israel. Instead of, you know, spending all that money in order to ruin us, why don't they spend it
This is
on
Nick.
taking
If you're still
care of
here, this is brainwashed. This is the real brainwash right here.
You're talking about Gaza. Gaza, it's so far from us. We don't know what's going over there.
She's in too
We
deep.
don't
She's
know.
in too deep.
If you can ask me about the West Bank,
And that's how it
I'm
is.
gonna answer, and I think you as well.
But here's the way I see it when you're talking about compromise. Hamas's charter says murder the Jews wherever they are, and the PA that are
You're
the
going back to Hamas.
hold on. But the PA that are the
You're
moderates.
going back to Hamas.
So, but the PA, the
We're not
Palestinian
talking
Authority,
about
the
them.
Palestinian Authority that are, let me finish. The Palestinian Authority that are the moderates, they're saying it's a death sentence if you sell your house to a Jew. Are there racist people in Israel? Of course. Are there racist people everywhere in the world? Yes. But we condemn people who are acting violently, and the other side glorifies it.
No, that's not.
Violence is sometimes justified.
Oh yeah, these two are gonna stand. These two are gonna start walking. These two are gonna start walking. No, no, no. She's gonna start walking. I knew it.
If you're going to attack Israel, then Israel is going to defend themselves. And that means when it comes to certain things, maybe not you specifically, but again, to the radical Muslims, we have to. Because if we don't, then there's not going to be a state of Israel anymore.
I don't think it's a matter of Israeli Arabs or Jews Christians. Sometimes in life you have to use violence. I hope it will be close to zero as possible. But if I see someone about to murder someone else, I think it's okay for me to use violence to stop that. I think violence is not allowed for a political goal. I think that's a bad place to use violence. I prefer talking and having a discourse.
Okay, I didn't grow up.
You
with
said
the
you prefer
Barbara
talking and having a discourse, but at the same time, he also didn't sit down for when he said that the leader should have a compromise and peace. So what does he really want? He doesn't want to use violence, and he doesn't want peace. What does he want? He just wants more fighting or something.
Violence with zero violence. But what I went to say, the same as you said, who comes to my house to break the door to take my father, of course I will defend for myself. So it's called a violence. But I want to defend for myself.
I
First of
think
all,
defense and
I
violence
am
are different
against
things.
violence
I think
100%.
violence is the act of aggression.
It's a freaking circle.
So not
It's the one
defense.
happening over and over again.
For me, if you're gonna react for the violence with violence, so here we go. We're having like the same problems, the same generation who's raised with hatred and violence and love blood, which is not acceptable.
Having a homeland for my people is important to me.
Of course, the Palestinians are gonna sit down. I think everyone would sit down, right?
That Israel needs to be our homeland, because if we won't have a homeland, no one else is going to accept us anywhere else, especially because there's a lot of racism and anti-Semitism as well. So if we're not going to be here, where are we going to go?
Okay, for me as a Muslim, the Holy Land, why it's so important. First of all, because I was born here. I have no place, another place.
Every single person around the world have the right to live in the place that they were born in. And that the right for Palestinians, also for, if we're gonna talk about refugees also, they have the right to come back here to their lands, to their homes, and have their places.
The fact that we came back to our homeland and that we do have a country and a government here, for me, like, it does feel like a miracle. But I also think that the fact that we do have the power now gives us more responsibility, and that we can't just base it on the fact that it's our homeland and not hear other voices saying we feel the same about the same place.
I often question my place in this conflict.
I think everyone should sit down. Oh.
All the time I'm questioning if it's more dialogue, more force, more conversations, more social media. I always ask myself what is the best thing. I tend to believe that the best thing is human interaction.
A lot of times I take a step back from like the political argument about the
Where's your
conflict and all
shoes?
that, just because I feel like unworthy and that I don't know enough.
So in my way, I've always known what I am in this conflict. I always knew I wanted to fight for peace. That's all I knew, and that's all I will ever
She
know.
bad? I just want to know where her shoes are. Aren't the floors so dirty? She should at least wear slippers. Come on now. You get the whole dog tail for what?
I always was asking my father why I was born.
Love her feet?
And his answer,
No, she needs to be putting on sandals or slippers or something. She walking on that dirty ass floor, bro. That's gross.
And when my sister, she got killed, I went back to him to tell him. He told me I was born to live, not to kill. But my sister, she was born
My
to
mouth.
die.
Okay,
The
Negro,
Palestinians, they didn't
relax.
kill 6 million
It's a serious
Israelis.
topic, okay?
And the Israelis still, they didn't kill 6 million Palestinians. There is a Germanian embassy in Tel Aviv, and there is a German, Israeli embassy.
She just needs to be wearing sandals, really.
So it's a big hope. It always gives me a hope when I'm looking at this and thinking a little bit about this.
I gotta say, I think it's nice slogans. I don't think that's the case. Israel has a peace treaty with Egypt because Egypt was willing to have peace with Israel. Israel has a peace treaty with Jordan because the Jordanians were willing to have a peace treaty with Israel.
Why is Israel fighting everyone?
It's different. How the way you're thinking
I
about
agree,
it.
which is exactly why I don't believe in a peace between the two sides, because in my understanding of reality, the whole concept of Palestinian nationality...
Because you don't accept Palestinians.
I accept human beings. I'm saying that the whole concept of Palestinian nationality is one goal, and that is the annihilation of Israel. When Jordan took over Judea and Samaria, when Egypt took over Gaza, no one asked for a Palestinian
But you're combining
nationality.
everyone into one ideology, which is not right.
Why?
Right, it's
You're saying
assimilation.
because
They're trying to assimilate
Palestinians,
these
This is
people.
what they want.
Yes.
Which is not true.
I agree. I take it back. The Palestinian government, the Palestinian Authority.
There.
Okay, I'm not
Now
saying
I
the Palestinian people.
understand.
I agree. It's different. I'm going to say, okay, I don't refer to the Arabs of Judea and Samaria as Palestinians. I refer to them as Arabs of Judea and Samaria.
If we were gonna live long age or long years, we're gonna see each other.
Great.
And
welcome.
we
Welcome
get
to come live with
we
us.
we gonna
Yes,
we
girl.
gonna have it.
Palestinians. You can have it.
No,
there.
no, I'm talking about peace. We're gonna have it here.
I would like to sit down and share a meal with everyone here.
Yes, please.
You love the Israeli woman with the glasses? You know who she reminds me of? She reminds me of my best friend Jackie. She acts and looks exactly like her. That's why I have no comments on her. Because she looks like my best friend Jackie. Jackie's up in Vancouver now. She got a job as a flight attendant. I'm so happy for her.
Hello. Hi guys.
She was with me with Amrit. The whole Molly situation. That was Jackie.
Shalom. Salam alaikum. So there's on top some passion fruit juice.
Is Jackie bad? Stop. She's my best friend. Stop. She's very pretty though. I will say she's gorgeous.
So how was the experience, guys?
Okay, I'm not gonna watch these guys eat while I'm hungry as fuck. Okay, enough. Enough. Can sex workers and virgins see eye to eye? Why the fuck not? Sex workers and virgins. Some of these are just doesn't make sense. You gonna miss it really well with the glasses? I will say everyone there was good looking. I will say everyone there was good looking. The men included. Well, not that one tall guy, but the other guy was a good looking guy. So Columbia, yeah, Is it ever too much makeup? Oh wait, hold on. Yeah, uh-oh is right. Is there ever too much makeup?
For me, honestly, putting any amount of makeup on my face is too much. Excessive contouring, where girls literally look like they're changing their bone structure.
I don't think you can
their
have too much
face.
makeup.
Like, that's talent, but like also that's
Who's to
not
decide how
real.
much makeup you should put on? You know, it's also objective, right? If you want to cake it, cake it.
I'm passionate of makeup because it allowed me to showcase to the world at a very young age the woman that I.
Her name is La Debbie. That's a cool name.
A lot of people think just because I wear makeup, I'm really stuck up and I feel like I'm the best at everything. We're just normal people.
Bro,
that,
look at his
like,
pants.
look
I bet
and
they're so
feel
tight.
Like I'm
Isn't
the
that
best
so
at
uncomfortable?
everything.
I feel like that'd be so uncomfortable. I mean, obviously he's okay, but I feel like it's latex and it's tight. Oh my goodness.
We're just normal people.
Those
that
pants would
like
hurt.
to look good in person and just
Your
look
balls
good
are
for
in two
everyone.
different. Your balls are like this,
the
pretty
beauty
much.
industry really
Your balls are like
prioritizes
separated by.
Eurocentric beauty standards, even in pursuit of trying to be beautiful and love myself or be loved by others.
But I'm in the
will
belief that there's
never
not too much makeup.
fulfill
to be
those
honest.
Eurocentric beauty standards.
If that's what you want to wear, that's what you want to wear.
Makeup either during my freshman year of college or my sophomore year of college, and I feel more like my authentic self when I'm not wearing it.
People say it's too much, or
Too much
try to say
makeup is
they're gonna
like-
wipe it off, or
I don't even
just
know.
judge you
Too
for
much makeup, I
wearing
guess,
it
is like when you can tell it's super caked on.
My
You know, not the
mom
natural look.
expected me
Or maybe
to
it's just so
always look
crazy.
dolled up. That would
Like
be, her
who's that one guy that does the
I think
makeup
that kinda
and
turned
he
me
has like
off
crazy
a
fingers
little
and he has a lot of
bit from
tattoos on his
makeup,
body
I
and he
just
wears the
like
wigs.
How I look naturally.
James Charles' friend, what's his name? Or even James Charles. Let's just go with James Charles. Jeffree Star, that's who it is.
My name's Sabrina.
I was thinking of Jeffree Star.
And I'm from the Bay Area, and I can't wait to learn your guys' opinion about makeup.
My name is Chris, and I'm so excited.
That's a lot though. That's a lot. Look at his face. I will say that is a lot. But is it too much? In my opinion, no. But I don't think this is attractive.
With you guys about makeup.
I'm Lademi, and I'm excited to debate with you guys.
My name's Theo, and I'm excited to have this conversation with all of you guys.
Hi, my name's Bryn, and I'm just excited to hear some different perspectives.
Hi, my name is Alina, and none of my friends really wear makeup, so I'm excited to see what everyone thinks about it and where their opinions come from.
Yeah. If you're not attractive, that's it. But like, if you have a lot on your face, you can really hurt your face by having all that on. Yeah, true. You can break out. You can,
It
has a lot of
preys,
complications
it
to a
being
lot
the
of big.
beauty industry and the cosmetic industry preys on the insecurities.
But I think that's not the
that
point of
women
it, though.
and men
I think that's the
feel-
point of this
feel,
video.
for
I think the point of it is
example,
the
aging, where this
perception
foundation
and
uses
your
eye creams, do
the
this,
beauty
that, and other
of all
things,
that.
so that way you don't look like you're aging. And I think
Yeah,
that
and also that's
the
like not your
aging
business,
process
right?
is a beautiful thing.
If
and
they
it
want to put on the
shows
makeup, they can
and
put on the
it
makeup.
shows, like all of the life that you've lived, and
I
our
guess.
skin and our faces, they all tell a story. The way that I see it oppressing women and men alike is
So in that
shaming them
sense,
into
is
thinking
wearing too much
they
makeup?
have
I don't
to
think so.
present themselves in a way that's deemed the ideal.
Worry about your own skin.
standard.
I think the
True.
sole fact that there is
But what if it's
a
someone
beauty
that's like,
standard in general
yeah, it's true.
is
It's worry about
so
your own skin, I
damaging
guess. Can't really
because
say
I
nothing
just
to
see beauty in a lot of people. There shouldn't be a standard for your natural self that you are.
I don't necessarily think beauty standards are
The white
oppressive,
girl needs
but
to
I
take
think
care of herself
sometimes
more.
they're
Which white girl?
unattainable.
There's
So
like
for
three.
example, like I've always struggled
The-
with acne
that white girl
scars, and
needs
I
to
was,
take
like,
care
looking
of
on
herself
social
more. What's
media,
wrong with her?
everybody's
Which
skin
one?
looks like so even
Oh,
and so
oh,
clear.
the middle
But
one.
then I learned that there are a lot
She
of
looks like a
filters
homeless?
that will actually do that. Like
Stop,
I
bro. You're being
ago,
rude. She
and
looks
then I
fine.
used one and I was
She
like,
just looks a
"Great,
little
now I
tired,
look like
maybe,
everybody
but she
else."
looks fine.
And I thought everybody just had like beautiful.
She need to wash her
porous skin,
hair.
and I was the
She
only
looks
one
fine.
left
She
out.
doesn't even
When
need
you
to do anything
guys
with her
wear
hair.
this, like your makeup look,
She
do
looks-
you guys use filters on them?
I've always been open
She's
with
okay.
all my followers that I edit my pictures and Facetune them just because it just gives them that extra. Like,
But she
feeling
says she
to the
doesn't do
picture,
makeup, so maybe
but
she
not,
just
like,
doesn't
enhance,
do a
like,
lot of
nose
things.
or eyes or anything like
She
that.
just wants that
That's the
old
same thing.
natural,
I
old
smooth the
natural.
texture. Unless you see me in person, honey, you're not gonna see these scars or this texture or anything like that. I'm gonna filter it out. But sometimes filters are clearly, it's obvious that I'm using a filter.
That shit is
So I would
whack.
hope that someone doesn't
Why are you
think
being
that
so
I look
judgmental?
exactly like this, because it's clearly a filter.
I think she looks fine, to be honest. She has clear skin.
Online, seeing,
She has very
different
clear skin, is what I'll say about
types of
that.
beauty that's all over the world, then maybe social media is not for you
Listen.
right now because you're still discovering who you're meant to be. I used to be.
I don't know why we're casting stones at these women, okay? When we're talking about beauty standards, something we don't even understand, really. You think she's not insecure, b-boy? You think that she goes out and she's not? She sometimes doesn't feel some type of way when she's dressed like that, and then you have people on the internet. Come on.
It does something.
I always need a little smooth here.
I guess the reason
Being
why
natural
I
does not
asked
mean
that
not taking
question
care of
is
yourself.
because in a lot of like
She
makeup
just looks like a
palettes,
pasty
they
white
make
woman.
it and then change the makeup.
I
look in
mean, like,
Photoshop.
damn.
Just use
I
that
don't know
under the
what else to say about her. She's just a white. Look at her. Her skin's clear as hell, and that's no cover up, no concealer, nothing.
How I'm treated by people.
Makeup has changed how I'm treated by people. I think so. Yeah.
Pre-COVID
yeah.
days, I love to go out to dance and stuff, to go to the club. Just men tend to
Her hair a little
just
frizzy,
give me
but
a
whose
lot
isn't?
more attention when I'm wearing makeup, and I don't know, it just doesn't feel good to me. And I swear, when I'm not wearing it, not a peep comes, no one comes my way. I think I like the latter. I like no one coming up to me, or they just come up to me just because they like my energy or something like that. But I've just gotten different treatment for wearing
You know what's?
makeup,
No.
and it hasn't ended
I was gonna say
positively
some.
sometimes.
Looking at women without makeup sometimes is just so almost jarring because I'm so used to women wearing makeup that seeing like a natural bare-faced woman. I don't have a girlfriend, by the way. That's why I'm talking about this.
It's like, where's the star?
Seeing
Where's
like
the
a
star
natural
before?
bare-faced
Where's
woman
the
looks
Demi,
kind of
you know?
different to me.
I kind of feel the same
Because I'm
way
so
on
used to
social
seeing
media.
makeup on women.
All I have on
It's
is
almost
makeup,
alien
and
to me.
then on my normal days, I'm
But-
like just a regular
but again, I'm
boy.
single,
So when
so-
I go to like Sephora or makeup shopping, they're just like, oh, is he gonna steal something? Because
Bro, some women without that
that's
makeup
what
is
they
so
mostly
different.
think
That's
of
what I'm
when you're not,
saying.
like in full glam or you look bummy. Oh, he's gonna steal something.
Yeah,
because
they-
he's
I think,
looking
yeah, makeup
suspicious, looking at
definitely
the
does
makeup
add,
products. But once I
a
like
bit
go
to
in
that
with like a
maturity
full face, they kind of leave
the
me
more
alone
mature look, because
I'm
like
going
they
back
can
to that
contour the
point where,
lines of
oh,
their
he knows
face
what
to
he's
make it more
doing 'cause he's in
angular,
full glam.
and
I don't know
angular
if you've read
faces
about
are,
the attractiveness
you know,
bias, but it's the
look
idea
older
that pretty
instead
people
of that
are like
roundness.
perceived as like more welcoming, more educated. So I've definitely gone into interviews or like heard my employer talk about people, and it's
More
not that they'll say
definition,
like,
yep.
oh, she wasn't wearing makeup. They'll say like, she didn't seem as ready, or like she wasn't as put together. I used to only wear makeup pretty much for interviews or if I was on camera. I didn't want to give them a reason to not hire me.
I can't even see that guy's
I used
eyes.
to wear like
Yeah,
a
his
lot of-
eyelashes
I
are
was
so
never
big.
good
I
at
can't even
it.
see his
Oh, you
eyes.
guys look amazing. I was never good at it, but I used to wear a lot, and then ultimately, at some point, the makeup comes off,
Yeah.
you know, and beneath that, you're still you. It's not easy to accept that sometimes. In the moments that I was kind of transitioning to not really wearing anymore, I really didn't notice.
Oh, I can see them. Never mind. He has beautiful eyes. Maybe he's wearing contacts.
Maybe that's just because the people that
I caught a
I'm
glimpse.
surrounded by are really accepting, and I know that that's
Maybe
not
you
the
just.
case for
I
everyone
think
else.
guys can wear makeup. Why not?
Makeup and kind of my default state, I guess.
Cover up
And
some
makeup
blemishes.
certainly
Why do we
makes
have to
me
go
feel
barefaced
very,
all the
like,
time?
empowered and beautiful, but then I
Why don't
almost
we
like resent
like
myself
you know?
more when I
Sometimes
think
I
about
want
it,
to cover
'cause I
up a
don't know,
pimple,
that's been like
or
2
sometimes I
years.
want
I'm
my
a
my
confident
face
person,
to be a little
so
bit more
I can
skinnier.
still go without and still feel
Right. I used to do my eyebrows though.
definitely
I used to have
like
some
a
shit for my eyebrows. I stopped doing that.
superpower. I
But I
always
used to have
say
some shit for
makeup
my eyebrows. I
because
think it's
when
okay to
I'm
wear
in
makeup if you're a
makeup,
guy. Why
I
not?
just feel like I have a cape on and I can do anything. And without it, it kind of humbles me down to maybe
Had my
not
little
be the
eyebrow,
person in the room to ask a question
like little
or, you
little
know,
brush
kind
thing.
of
I
like
used
my
to
backup
do a
dancer.
little of that.
Yeah, I agree.
Put some
With
little
definitely,
some
when
clear
I have
shit on
makeup,
my
I just
eyebrow.
feel like
Jackie
I
did it all
speak
for me.
like the whole
So
world,
I don't
and
know
I'm
what the
just
fuck I
like
was
that
doing.
person
No,
that can do
that's good.
anything.
Is
That's
my
like the
face
main
fat?
reason
No.
why I go into makeup, because it just makes you feel good.
To a sense, wearing makeup, you kind of have to be confident. For someone that puts makeup on,
And
to
makeup
feel
is
good
like
about
a
themselves
haircut,
or
bro. It gives you
whatever, but
that
at the same
confidence.
time,
I
you need
assume.
to be confident because it's gonna attract that attention.
Right.
I don't know how I feel about that, to be honest, because I think like for a long time, like when I didn't wear makeup, I would be like, I feel so bad that people have to look at me. When I choose to wear makeup, it's not because I feel confident, but I'm almost like, can this make me feel confident? But objectively, I look better, like I look brighter, and so in the moment of being transformed,
Yeah,
physically,
it's all
maybe
about, like,
emotionally, I can say like, let me go out into the world with more conviction.
when you look better
As
and
much
you
as
feel
makeup
better
empowers
and
me,
you
I also want to be
you
empowered
act
in my
more
authentic self as
confident
well.
and you just carry yourself a bit better when you look better.
Leaving home without makeup.
I have felt uncomfortable leaving home without makeup. That's something I can't relate to because I'd be looking like a bum
I
all
don't
the time.
feel uncomfortable about leaving home without makeup now, but I think it took me a while to get to this point. There's still a part in my brain and my subconscious that's like, well, maybe just a little bit, maybe just a little something. Back in the day, it was more based on just insecurity that I wasn't good enough without any makeup. And now I think I've worked pretty hard to get to this point.
Sometimes for me, I do feel uncomfortable because, you know, I just want to have like nice skin like out in public or like a full glam out in public. But sometimes I don't want to deal with like people just staring me down or like little kids coming up to me and be like, why are you wearing makeup? That's for girls. So I just sometimes don't even go out with makeup that much.
When I started to wear makeup and I was, you know, being perceived to the public as a woman, without it, I wasn't, you know? So it was like really hard to adjust to even leaving my house without a lash, without an eyebrow, without some kind of lip gloss or blush.
Oh, I understand
something
now.
to give me that touch to feel like, you know, I'm not going to get misgendered out there in the world.
Okay.
And I definitely know what it feels like to not be able to leave the house.
For her, it's
without
very
something to
important
validate
and special
me
for
as
her.
a woman to society.
I get it.
I think the only time I used to regularly wear makeup is like if I thought I'd see my ex or something like that. But also when I was going on a lot of first dates before I met my girlfriend, I would like, it would pretty much be the only time I'd wear makeup. Like I wouldn't wear it to work and I would come home and put it on. But then I started to realize like these people, like if it goes further, they're going to see me without makeup and I'd almost
Oh
rather
yeah.
have them know that up front.
I
And
can
actually,
feel
the
that.
first date I
You
went on
present
with my
yourself in a
girlfriend
certain
was, like,
way,
one of the
but then
first
as you
first
get
dates
deep
I
into the
didn't wear
relationship, you get
makeup
set
because
by
I just
certain
felt like I
insecurities
trusted
because
her.
now the
I
makeup's
just knew that
off
I could
or
trust her.
So funny to like bounce off of that. I went through like a phase 2 where like I would like spend the night with a guy and I would
because
not
you present
do
yourself in
makeup.
like a certain way.
I would sleep with my makeup,
but you can't
and,
do
like,
it all the.
10
You can't
minutes
keep up
before,
that
like,
charade
waking
or
up, I'd
charade.
run back to the
You can't keep it up
restroom,
the whole
touch
time.
up,
You gotta
put on a
reveal
lip
yourself one
stain,
day.
so I would wake up like.
I used to, before we were boyfriend and girlfriend, I used to sleep in my makeup. It would be makeup all over this dude's pillows. So on Valentine's
I've had girls
Day,
sleep
he
with their
asked me to be
makeup
his
on.
girlfriend,
Yeah,
and I
I've
was
seen
like,
it all
I'm
the time.
gonna wash my face.
Shit's mad annoying.
I'm about to
It's okay,
take it
baby.
all
Just
off and
wipe
see
it
what
off. I don't care.
happens. And so I did that, and I'm like, still
And even when you say you don't
hide.
care, they still care.
But
So they don't.
he saw me, and then after that, I'm just like, on FaceTime now, with no makeup, I'm just comfortable.
For me, it was kind of the opposite. When you're a gay guy trying to get a boyfriend out there, most of the guys don't want a guy that's wearing makeup. So I would hide everything about me, like wearing makeup.
Oh,
When I was
I
talking
see.
with my boyfriend at that time, I was trying to hide them, like my pictures on Instagram. I would literally delete them so he won't know that I was wearing makeup or into makeup. But then once I told him, he was like really accepting, and now like he actually helps me like film my YouTube videos. I asked him
Aw,
if it
that's
looked good.
cute.
He was
That's
like, "Oh my god, you
sweet.
look so bomb," and I'm like, "Yeah."
Altering your skin color is cultural appropriation.
Altering your skin color is cultural. I don't know where I land on this one because we got Ariana Grande, we got Bad Baby nowadays.
I don't understand why people are doing it. They're blaming it on, no, I'm darker in the summer, I'm blah, blah, blah. But it's just like, you're literally using.
You got some women in
compared to your
England, they
face to your
take it on
body,
so
a whole
bronzy
different
that
shade
they look
different.
like light
People's
skinish.
skin tones will change throughout the year depending on the weather and the amount of sun that they're in. But there's obviously a very sincere line. And when the issue of blackfishing comes into play, when people are presenting themselves as more ethnically ambiguous,
Yeah, they'd be OD.
trendy,
Like Kardashians, I didn't even mention that Kardashians.
When I was in high school, it was like a very white high school essentially, and I remember somebody like wrote a note to me that was supposed to be nice, and they said, "You have that beautiful tan skin that I long for." And I was like, "What is this white girl saying to me?" Like, and I didn't even know how
You
to
have
react
that
because I
beautiful
think it was meant
tan
to be a
skin that I
compliment. Like,
long
my
for?
skin is
Watch
not like a commodity.
out,
Like my
bro.
brownness
That's
is
so
not
fucking
up for
weird.
you to take
Nah, that's some
and
fetish
claim
shit.
as your own as you so please.
Like, let's say you're doing a shoot out in the desert, and like you're doing like a warrior shoot.
All right, I think it's my last one actually.
They're
I gotta go.
obviously gonna like bronze you up.
Sleepy
and,
sleep.
Like,
Okay, one more
airbrush you
actually.
and
Then I
make
gotta
you
go
look
sleepy sleep
more
for work.
tanner because they're not
Y'all
gonna want
Americans,
you,
I'm pretty sure you got Black Friday off, right?
Because that just kind of doesn't make sense.
I always get spray tans to be, better at looking on camera as to just looking tan. And, when you're tan,
Yeah, to be
you feel
honest, I didn't
sexier,
know
you
what
look
Kim
slimmer,
was.
but I think
She was
there's
just so
definitely a
fucking
fine line between
ambiguous to
looking
me.
tan and then taking it to extreme to you don't even look like your race.
I don't really think about race
But I
though.
remember there was also a brand that they made a
I don't
model
really think
look
about race when I
significantly
think of
darker
people,
because
to be
somebody they
honest.
had said
Like,
they had
if
been
she's
asked
brown
to be, like, have
skin,
more diversity, and instead of
dark
actually
skin, I don't
finding
really
a
think
darker
about
skin model, they made a lighter skin person
Or
darker
nationality,
for
to
this
be honest.
campaign.
A lot of the blackfishing
'Cause I don't
examples
really
that
care.
I've seen have been young girls. The intent for those girls comes back to
Odie
the
with her
idea
tan, yeah. But she
that
always
they
had a bit of a
feel-
tan
it's
on
more
her.
like a psychological
She's always had
issue. I don't
that bit
think
of
their intent
melanin
is,
on her.
I want to appropriate
But it's never been
skin
like
color
OD,
of a
OD, like
different race.
how she's
I think
doing it
it's
nowadays.
just, man, for some reason right now in the media, the trend is to be darker skinned. I remember in the 2000s, the fair skinned, skinny girl look was in, and trends have just changed. So I believe girls have that idea.
The whites are out,
that
the
they
blacks
just
are in,
wanna do that
facts.
and be more accepted. If they do something wrong at all in the media nowadays, the backlash is they do not forgive that person. I just don't think that the dialogue is healthy or helpful and progressive for all people of different races to be united.
I think
Wait,
there
Nick,
was
where do you
some
work? Why are
commentary
you
from,
working on a
Asians and
holiday?
Asian Americans
You
about
get
the
time and a
fox
half though,
icon.
right?
Even I feel like the
Double
name,
time?
make the eye shape that a lot of Asians have.
I used to always
definitely
work
have heard
holidays
people
when I
kind of be
was
offended
at
by
retail.
that because they've
I don't give a
been made
fuck.
fun of.
I even
and
work
called
Christmas,
racial
fuck it.
slurs, for being like whatever
Don't give a
Asian form
fuck.
of Asian or Asian American they are.
I had surgery, obviously, on my face, FFS, facial feminization surgery, and I used to have really masculine, sad hooded eyes, and they did that fox lift on me to open up my eye and give me more of a
Costco
feminine
gets less business on
touch. So
Friday.
for me, it was, a
On
stepping
Black
into
Friday?
my womanhood, and also.
Wait, you don't get
it
time and a
also
half or nothing like
great
that?
with the
It's
whole beauty of,
Thanksgiving.
the winged
Costco be
eyeliner and all of
snaking.
that, so.
Last time some random person commented on my pictures. And,
Yeah, no one's trying to go to no
when,
fucking Costco
editorial
Black
models
Friday.
just post like this and putting like their
Yeah.
size.
No, that's cap. That's
Someone was like, "Oh, can you stop imitating an Asian person?" And I was like, "I'm just posing like a regular person, but like enhancing like the brow, the fox eye."
I don't think a lot of people have the intent when they do the fox eye, like how you were saying lifting, your intent was not to offend or appropriate Asian culture. If anything, you were doing it because you found it to be beautiful.
Yeah.
I think
Oh,
in a
that
way
schedule
it's
sales?
not
Oh,
for
they're
me
just
to
like
take
Apple.
a stance on. Like, I am Asian, but I mean, remember, Asia is like a big continent. So like, I'm South Asian, I'm Pakistani, and so nobody has ever made fun of my eyes, thankfully. But if I was East Asian, it would feel more hurtful. I don't necessarily know what the answer is if it's offensive, but if somebody from that culture says that they are harmed by it, that it hurts
Especially with
them,
Latina.
that it makes them feel lesser than.
This is why I don't like to make assumptions on when I see people. I don't even think about that type of shit. I just see a person. There's no harm in children using makeup.
So the way that
Ah,
I interpreted
I don't
this
know.
question
I
was children
don't
doing
know.
their own
I don't know.
makeup, not having it
Because I
done
definitely felt some type of way when my
someone
nieces
older
started wearing
or
makeup,
someone
and they're
who's
young,
more experienced
like
with
10,
it.
bro.
I think that makeup within itself is a self-expression, and I feel that if a young boy or a young girl is drawn to that, then it should be supported and treated with like love and kindness and acceptance. I think it's totally fine.
I don't know how I feel, to be
A
honest.
kid has conscious parents.
On principle, I want to say it's totally
friends,
fine.
mentors, teachers around
And,
them,
you
and
know,
they're just playing with makeup, and
on
their
principle is what I
intent
want to
is
say.
not
But there's a
simply
lot of
to
things that
please
go into it.
others. I think it's completely
There's a lot of
fine.
optics
I've just
to
noticed
think
that
about.
doesn't tend to happen a lot of times in society.
Yeah, there's underlying things.
The first one is, like I said, my mom putting the makeup on me as a child, and now you have this adult that feels like she has to be presentable all the time. That's a problem.
Especially for people
The
wearing
second
makeup. I don't
one
necessarily
is,
believe
you
that.
know,
I think we can
it
answer it,
causing acne.
but we're
I
just
don't
trying to
even
figure out
think that
how
makeup causes
we
acne,
feel first.
But if it's unnecessary and you don't know how to take care of your skin,
Because
then you can cause a
when
problem.
you think of
The
makeup, you
third
think
one
of like
is because
a,
of pervs out
I don't
here.
know, like
I wouldn't want my little
a
sister
more mature
wearing
look,
makeup so
in my
young,
opinion, is
'cause
what
I wouldn't
makeup
want
is
her
for,
to
right?
attract the wrong attention.
That was
Or
basically
or
mine, too.
the
I would be so upset.
or the
like,
beauty
my
of it,
sister was
this,
younger
the beauty
and
standards
showing
of
that
makeup
her
and stuff,
potential
right?
lashes
So when
and
you
herself
attribute
was
that to
looking
like
more
a
sexually
child,
active online.
Kids can use makeup as an art form too.
Exactly.
So
I don't know,
wouldn't
because
say
we
to just
we see it
not
differently than a child
introduce
obviously.
it.
Is
A child
there
might think,
a
oh,
certain
you know,
age
it's
that
whatever.
you guys think it's appropriate for them to start wearing makeup?
We'll say puberty.
Well, I went through puberty at 10. I wouldn't recommend it for me.
I think like at 15 or 16 is like a good age because you're like becoming that woman.
I've seen kids wear makeup from like 12
there
though,
would
so
be
you
like
know.
little girls just coming
It
in
is
looking
what
for
it is,
foundation,
you
and they were
know,
like 7 or 6.
makeup, I
It
guess.
was so weird because their parents were like,
Not
letting
my
them, but I
kids,
mean,
though.
That's her kid. I'm no one to tell
Okay,
her.
I'm done with this video, by the way. I don't care about this topic. Do you think it's that's for the parents to decide? True, but then you could do that like a lot for like earrings and stuff, right? Like I got my earring when I was a baby. Did I have consent? Did I give my parents consent to put this earring on me? You know what I mean? Like I don't know. I don't know. It's weird for makeup. I'm not a woman. But when I see my niece, she's 13, she started wearing makeup, I don't I'm like, oh man, you growing up. Maybe it's because she's growing up. You know what I mean? Is the idea of virginity outdated? Virgins versus I don't give a it just feels weird to me. Okay, we need one more before I'm dipping. I said millionaires. Millionaires versus minimum wage. I want to hear both sides. Well, I feel like we already watched something like this, didn't we? Yeah, if you're caking on makeup as a child. Oh shit, my phone just went off. 1 sec. I'm on call, by the way. Someone explain to Kombi what on call means. I'm on call. That means if something happens, something happens. Hi Tristan, please forward. Bitch. Hi Tristan, please forward an email with a message to Rear Cannon and say that some of your voices have turned offline. Ask them to address the issue and update us. He asked me to forward this message. Okay. 1 sec. Let me forward this message. I gotta forward this to one of the customers. I don't know who to forward this to. Bing Boo? Live on the air. Work I don't know his fucking email address. BW? B... What the fuck? Who you want me to forward this to if you don't give me the contacts? Sorry, let me play the video while I work on my phone.
What's up, guys? We actually recorded a pre-roll that went wrong, so we're re-recording it here right now. We did a past version of this episode about a year ago. Go check out that episode. And Mel, you got something to say to our audience?
Yeah, so we're getting a lot of questions asking, how can we bring middle ground to our college campus? Well, fill out the link in the description box below.
Description
Oh, his
box
name is
below. We're gonna
Cletus.
come to your college
Okay, I don't know who
campus.
Cletus is.
Okay, enjoy the episode. See you afterwards.
I didn't get any boobs.
I think his name is
What did I do when I started making
Cletus.
money? I went and bought boobs. Like, that's what I wanted. You're gonna die from your implants. Like, I'll die a D cup.
Hold on. Let me bust up the ThinkPad real quick.
Hi, my name's Tim. I'm a community organizer here in LA.
Let me
I
bust up
work
the
on
thinky.
environmental justice, social justice, housing justice, and
Yeah, it's another broke video.
My name is Christiana Hurt. I'm the owner of the 7
This is the last one we're ending it off.
college kid. I'm 24 years old.
My name is Graham. I'm a real estate agent,
Work,
real
work,
estate
work, work,
investor.
work.
My name is Beatrice. I am 21 and I am a Target worker.
My name is Brett Knudsen.
You can't watch this video, why
I
not?
am an entrepreneur and an investor.
My name is Tiara Lucky, and I am a minimum wage worker. I just hustle, do Instacart, and I'm also an actress.
The first prompt is, I worked for everything I earned.
I worked for everything I earned. I haven't. I for sure haven't. I've had
So
parents
I
that
grew
give
up
me
with
stuff.
two parents that were basically paycheck to paycheck, and none of them had any extra money.
Oh, I know
So
about this
seen
guy.
my
He's
parents
the
struggle
one
with
rich
that,
dude on
and I
YouTube.
realized the value of money. So I basically poured everything I had into my work. There were years, I would say 4 years, that I didn't have any friends. From 18 to 22, it was just me. And I was working from probably 8 a.m. until midnight, working as a real
Hi,
estate
Tristan.
agent.
Please.
I
Why?
completely agree. I think
Wait.
what a
You
lot
know what I don't find? What I find funny? This guy said, "Please forward this message." Could you not have forwarded the message yourself?
It's not like a sacrifice where I was like, I'm gonna have no friends, but you can only balance.
Why you a middleman when you could have just been the man? Why do I gotta forward shit now?
There's a lot of labor and communal effort that goes into getting all of us here that we don't get paid for.
What
that
the
other people don't
fuck?
get paid for. The examples that you two gave are perfect, actually.
So,
Both
okay,
making
if he
money
doesn't get
by
paid to do
extracting
it, then
value
why
from
did he
the
even tell me to do it? Because I didn't get an alert on my
building the
phone.
house you're selling.
I didn't get no
Not
type of
after
notification on my
working
phone
like
at all that I had to
slave
email
mine
anyone.
uranium out of the earth like some
Matter of
people on
fact,
planet
I'm
Earth.
closing
We
this
have to
fucking
really
laptop. The
understand what
fuck?
it means to
Suck my
earn
dick.
money and how we all interact to do that.
Nah,
How would you
I'll forward
address
it.
based off extracting value if you start a company from the ground and then you build it into a multi-million-dollar company?
But no one does that
Cletus?
because there's investors and stuff that come in too.
Not always.
Most of the time. I mean, you have to get
I've
capital from
raised,
somewhere.
I have
Yeah.
raised money before.
Yeah.
But I've also started companies that I didn't raise money for.
Okay, but if he's not getting
I
paid,
worked
then
in
why
a
is he
retail
even
job for minimum wage
reading
and
emails
saving
at 10
up
o'clock
and
at night?
putting it in.
What's your big fat problem, dude?
Self-judged for my income level.
I think it's part of general society. We are always judging each other. Having used SNAP points before, like standing in a grocery store using the card that I've gotten for the government to pay for food and feeling the people.
His name is
behind me
Abu
thinking that's
Salah.
Something that you haven't earned
Abu
or
Salah.
gotten.
Has somebody ever asked you to
And
use your
alerts
Snap
now
app?
at RioCan. Okay, I'm
I
just
mean, I
gonna
have.
copy, paste.
Generally, there's not that much to go around.
It's the same mentality when it's
Forward.
$1 versus Snap. Somebody could still ask
Watch
me
out.
to share. Well, you get it.
Watch
Why
out.
can't you help me out?
Just some other random dude.
I didn't step forward because me personally.
This shit pisses me off. I'm gonna have to
I
address
surround
this tomorrow in
myself
the
with
daily
people
huddle.
That just like
In the
listen, my bank
scrum.
account just doesn't
I'm gonna say, first of all,
people
bitch.
around me. I do think a
You
lot
think I can't do my job?
towards how
You
much
think I can't do my job?
reflects on, like, your daily
No, watch out. I'm not gonna do all
Instead,
that.
See, I've never had that because I'm
No?
so
Hello.
frugal. If there are girls that are out there who want me for my money,
Mhm.
like they should know I'm probably like the cheapest person out there. I literally will wait like 9 p.m. for happy hour to start just so I get the happy hour menu.
you
And something, so
frugal.
I would be like the last person any sort of like gold digger would want.
I find myself in situations with these boys that have no job, no nothing, and I end up taking on these charity cases of
Yeah.
relationships. Oh, why don't you put him on or build him up? And it's like, You can't build.
Yeah, it's not
from-
Build-A-Bear.
I mean, you can. I mean, I've met guys I've dated that, you know, go on to have successful businesses from my input. And, you know, you want to date somebody equal or greater, but then you don't want to be materialistic about like, well, I only date people with money because I make money.
Exactly.
Anyone can become
Look
rich.
at my DMs. I don't look
work
at DMs when I'm streaming. And plus, I'm working right now. I'm on call. Give me a sec. Actually, I'll look at it after.
So I just think that anyone could become rich if they actually like believed in themselves and took the risk to
That's
actually
cap.
believe in
Okay,
themselves.
maybe I'll
And
glance at
they
them, but
see
I won't
success at the
respond
end
to
of
them
the line of
until
it.
I'm done
I
streaming.
feel like a lot
Usually.
of it comes down to mindset
Usually.
first and really having the belief that you can do that. I know for me, one of my biggest concerns was I didn't have any skills whatsoever.
But most of
and
the time, I
went
don't
into
look at them for
college.
real. I
have
just see
like a
that ping. I'm like,
2.0
ooh,
GPA in high
a
school. It was
ping.
terrible. I had such bad grades, but I really turned that into a positive, and I really believe this actually happened for a reason, because now I could pursue something else, which was real estate, because that didn't require a college degree. And looking back now, that
I
was
love
the
your
best thing that had
canteen.
ever happened.
Some of your devices
That's like a
have
really
gone
sticky situation with
offline.
anyone can become like
to
rich, and because I don't think that's completely true. A lot of people can if they have like connections and stuff, you know. But I feel like sometimes people like they work 2 jobs, or sometimes they have other things going on. They have to pay their needs first. They don't always have like money for that, you know. Because like my dad, he's like a landscape worker. He has tried making his own company, and it doesn't always like work out. He has tried hard. It doesn't work. That's why I think it's like you have to have connects, you know. That's why.
Do you mind if I interject?
Yeah,
in terms of building connections, I didn't have any connections either when it comes
I
to
don't like rich
working
people.
in real estate. And what I did to make the connections is I went to open houses every single Sunday for
Could you
months.
please
And I
address
probably met at least 50 or 60 real estate agents. And it was through that I met one agent who was really gracious enough to say, if you want to come work underneath me, I'm happy to do that. And it was really that connection, which you know, like you mentioned, connection, that I met that person through just really kind of putting myself out there to meet people.
There's a lot of institutional and systemic barriers that we aren't really talking about. If you walk into like a Beverly Hills $5 million house not speaking English, they're probably not going to give you the like hookup. We don't tend to.
I hate
with
sending
circles
emails.
where those connections cross economic and
Okay,
socioeconomic
done.
lines.
Done.
And even beyond
Send.
that, I want to say like,
Who am I
you
sending
took
it
a
to?
big
This guy?
risk, and your risk paid
And this
off.
guy?
But what if your risk
And this guy?
hadn't
Hi,
paid
Dora.
off? And that's for a lot of people who
Okay.
do try and start.
Closing
their
my eyes and
business,
sending
try
it.
and
Closing my eyes,
start their
sending it.
YouTube channel.
Eh.
That risk doesn't
Bet.
pay off, and there's no real safety net there. So we're not really getting an adequate side of people who have like taken that entrepreneurial risk and not.
Okay,
really
what's your
taken
stinky ass say,
I'm
bitch?
almost worried it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, though. If you go in it fearing, oh, what am I going to fail, and that becomes your main focus, I think more people are less likely to take risks actually needed to succeed because they're more focused on not failing.
Yeah, I think your beliefs create the level of action you take, and the level of action you
Yeah, I
take
almost got
determines
your
the
ass.
results, and it is cyclical.
I am not obligated to give to the less fortunate.
Facts. Dude in the middle is crazy tall.
So the reason I
Just-
stood up on this one is I actually, one of the missions in my organizing is getting away from this kind of notion that we have that charity or
I don't think rich people are obligated
solve
to
social problems. At the same time, like,
donate.
I still give
Maybe a moral obligation, but
so I don't want to seem like I'm
no.
totally opposed to it.
I agree with that. I've given people money and not gotten it back. I've given people money and they've wasted it on drugs. Why did I even give you the money to begin with?
No, he didn't give me the name. This guy told me to forward an email, and I don't know the contacts.
No. we
So
have
who am I forwarding to?
you know,
I just said like I just sent it to some random people probably. To be honest, I probably sent it to some random people. I don't give a fuck. It's 10 p.m. Dumbass said to forward it.
I feel like when you say, are you obligated to give to the unfortunate, it's always the mindset of like money. Well, guess what? I have no money currently to give. But I have like my morality. I have my goodness about
You're
me.
dodging
you know?
oh, you're one of
I'm
them
just
tax
trying to
loopholers, huh?
Build a community.
We know about your kind.
especially
You're a
when you
bad
have a
egg.
group of people that
We were just talking about your
creative
kind.
and supportive.
Right,
you
Dora? We
build
were just talking about this
faster
guy?
than just by yourself.
I'm gonna be a crazy
I
cat
don't
lady.
always
I don't care.
donate with
I've
money.
already
Sometimes I'll go and
subjected
I'll fill
myself to
bags
it. I don't give a
of
fuck.
Food for kids that are starving. You know what I mean?
And I'm not ashamed either.
It doesn't always have to be money. Like I don't think it's our responsibility to give money based off of what we think the person.
Ooh, good jump.
With it. Like that's on
Wow.
them if they choose
Okay,
to
just
use
your
it
fucking ass on
wrongly.
my face,
It's our
please. Thank
responsibility just to be generous.
I am not afraid to spoil myself.
Yeah, get your rich ass over there. Here you go, minimum worker. The minimum wage should also spoil themselves.
I work hard to be able to go into
Okay,
school,
Dora,
do
please
something for myself.
get up.
I bought a $4,000 hairless cat
Why do
that
we
I had
fall?
genetically made. And when I was in high school, when I started making
Say
money,
bye.
I went and got that cat. You know, when you're in middle school and everybody's hitting puberty and getting taller and boobs, and I didn't get any boobs. What did I do when I started making money? I went and bought boobs. Like, that's what I wanted. And, you know, there's the controversy of like, you're gonna die from your implants. Like, I'll die a D cup and have no problem with it.
You can die from implants? Is it that serious?
So I rarely ever treat myself. I basically keep my spending at the same as when I was like, 19 or 21. No matter how much money I make.
That's what I don't get about rich
same amount.
people.
For instance,
What's the point of being rich if you're not going to spend the money?
Sounds crazy.
Why do you
but when I was,
amass
like,
this
17,
amount of
I
money
bought a
and not
Lamborghini.
spoil
There was
yourself?
Nothing I wanted more. I want to be that guy, 18 years old and pull
Does
up
that make
in a
sense?
Lambo.
Like, what are you
that was my
doing?
dream. But when I actually got the money to go and buy the car, all of a sudden I realized, like, wait a second, that's stupid. I'm not going to get the car. I'm going to invest it in real
Or the
estate.
future. There's always
But then
a
I'm gonna wait,
future.
then I'm gonna get the
Why don't you
Lambo.
start
And then
living
you
in
save
the
up even
here
more,
and
and you
now?
realize, wait, the Lambo is still stupid. Let me go and invest it. And even now,
It's
like,
always a
the
future,
chase and
invest,
ambition
this,
of
that, the
doing
other.
something is way more
Fuck all
fun
that.
and
Building a
enjoyable
legacy?
than actually getting that thing.
Bitch.
I don't really spoil myself because I always buy my needs first. I usually wait till like my next check to see if I have extra money, and if I do, then I spoil myself. But if I don't, then I don't.
I think it's interesting also that almost all of us have associated spoiling
They
ourselves
want the
with spending
name?
money, and at the same
sure.
time said
That's true.
spending that
It's-
money is very unfulfilling.
I
It's
just
weird, 'cause
think
even
if
myself,
you have
like,
money, you
I
should
really
spend
just
it.
like having an F-off day and I just hang out and don't do anything and have any responsibilities. But I don't think about it as spoiling myself, even though that's my favorite time to spend.
I wish I had more money.
Obviously, the rich guys are going to walk. Come on now. The rich want to get rich.
For me, I think it's always a comfort thing knowing that I have a little bit more.
Minimum
saved
wage
up
worker
and
doesn't want more
invested.
money?
And I think it could just be a psychological thing that no matter how much money I have, it's always psychologically never going to be enough because that becomes your new normal. So
Yeah,
I think you're
yeah,
always
yeah.
chasing that.
See, I want more money so that I can pay off like
It's
my
your new
debt
normal.
and
Yup,
try
yup. And you're always going to be
help-
chasing
help,
it.
Help some family members.
Like when a nigga says he wants to be gold in Valorant,
I don't want to be like.
and then he
ugly,
hits
you know, but,
gold,
like, I just
all of a
want
sudden
to
he's
be
playing
needs,
more
you know,
and
or
more
just collect
and
a
more
car
and
because
more
I need
and
a
more
car,
and
you know,
more
or just
until he
stuff the
loses
family needs.
40 games in a row.
I think for me, if I'm honest with myself, it's getting further away from how broke
Anyways.
I was because I'm scared of that ever happening again. There's no end because of that.
So
You're
of course,
chasing.
everyone could always
It's always
do
something
something,
else.
like, as
There's
a
no
millionaire,
end goal.
definitely say
Once you
something
hit your goal, there's a
about
new
but more,
objective
I
on the map.
want to see a society in which the money that we have doesn't determine all of our possibilities. Because it seems like when we
I
talk
wasn't even talking
money,
about Nick, to be honest. I was talking about myself,
my
bro.
utopian
No, I'm
vision
playing. I'm
is
playing.
like a society where money really doesn't matter because we don't really need it to figure out value. But it makes a good translation for the time.
A guy like me, I get satisfied. I get satisfied. Okay. When I reach goals, I get satisfied and I quit.
Thanks so much for watching.
Yo,
this
some of
episode.
y'all not built like me though.
We loved having
Some of y'all not built like me. Okay, I'm sorry. But when I hit a goal, I'm
If you guys
satisfied.
enjoyed this episode and want to
I'm happy and I'm satisfied. Then I quit.
Link below.
We
And I
also have
quit.
a super cool Instagram page. If you guys aren't following at this point, you're kind of weird.
Ian, the Korean, a fire name. Ian the Korean. Who's that? That person right here? Oh, this person right here. Am I racist? I gotta get out of here. I gotta get out. Okay, thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for watching. I'm gonna do yo, Kombi, you down for Warzone 2 tomorrow? I'm gonna get off work early tomorrow. Because I said so. Probably gonna get home earlier than usual. You better have 100 viewers the next stream. Who else playing? We can get 2 other people easily. Probably. We can get anyone really. We can get like anyone, bro. Neva, NMK, Pooh. No, you're not finding no one. I don't trust your people. Your people always flake. I'll find them. Don't worry. I'll get them. I'll get them. I know about your guys. I can get some quality members. Oh, the people. Who the fuck do we know? Do we have any mutual friends? I don't know you like that, nigga. We don't have any mutual friends. Who do we know? that I like, and you like, who do we both like? No one. That would play Warzone 2. That would play Warzone 2. Oh, Fran. Oh, okay. You talking about no of. You talk about acquaintances. Not even that. Discord peers. Not even that. Niggas online. Not even that. People we know of. Okay. I'm going. Have a good night, everyone. Happy Thanksgiving. Warzone 2 all day tomorrow.